song one more time.
It's our first piece of recorded content back.
God, it's already
So
trash.
there was a lot of technical issues. So, hey, it's all good. Do we have to hear the intro like 4.5 times? Sure. But you know what? This is Kind of Funnies in Review. As always, I'm Tim Gettys, joined by Kevin Coella.
Did you say Coella?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
You
said Coella.
And you
That's your
still
last
do
name.
the thing where you take way too long to respond after I say something. We have Andy Cortez,
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back, 2021. New year, new me.
Greg Miller.
I renounce my wish. We should have never gotten more DCEU movies,
Oh,
all right?
Jesus.
It was a mistake. I'm sorry, everybody, that I asked for this. I didn't mean it. I didn't know. Who would have thought? You know, I turned it on Christmas Day. It says 2.5 hours of Wonder Woman. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Let's go, baby. And then what happens? This fucking movie gets going and it won't stop. And I'm sorry. I know that I'm the one who wished this into existence for you. I'm sorry. But think of it this way. It's the perfect encapsulation of 2020. It's all behind us. It's gone. And now it's 2021. Snyder Cut, baby. We got 4 fucking hours coming up. Strap in.
That's what we have to look forward to. That's gonna save it all. The Snyder Cut.
But that voice is Nick Scarpino.
Tim, I want to be an apex predator. Give me more than one wish. Let's go.
Wait, I'm
Holy
sorry.
shit,
I'm
generous
sorry.
today.
Was that pre-ripped or something? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was. I've learned a long time ago, Kev. If you want to take a shirt off in one rip, you gotta cut it ahead.
I thought it was
That
like
was-
Velcro. I was
That
like,
was the
really
most impressive rip
That's really cool.
I've seen Hulk Hogan do it. I've seen
Yeah.
Andy Cortez.
I'll be honest with you. Like until now, you mentioning a rip, I thought it was a jacket that you like. I thought it was made like
tearaway.
that already.
like a tearaway
But
jacket.
yeah.
Greg, do you have a backup? Because we weren't recording that.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, we were.
It's fun. You can't get this kind of action again.
It's Kind of Funnies, DCEU in review. That's right. We, for some reason here, rank and review every DCEU movie. You can watch it on youtube.com/kindafunny, or you could watch it live as it's being recorded on patreon.com/kindafunny. Get the show ad free. Speaking of ads, today we are brought to you by Gabby and Green Chef, but I will tell you all about that later. Real quick, I want to say, this being the first piece of content that is going live in 2021, later, a couple hours from now, if you're watching this right when it comes out, we're starting our stream for 12 hours, starting at 10 a.m., announcing all of Kind of Funny's 2021 stuff. Go check that out. Obviously, we would love your support over on patreon.com/kindafunny to support the thermometer and all of that stuff that will be revealed unless you've already watched it. You know how time works.
Yeah,
It's
that's
crazy.
the thing, right? This goes up before the stream starts, so we can't tell you about the cool stuff we're doing.
Exactly.
We're doing
Cool
really
stuff
cool
is coming.
stuff.
Really cool stuff is coming. But before we get to that, we have to talk about Wonder Woman 1984, the 9th film in the DC Extended Universe. Directed by Patty Jenkins. She directed films like Monster in 2003, Wonder Woman in 2017. She also occupied the 6th place for Times Person of the Year in 2017.
Oh.
That's pretty dope. Can you imagine being Times Person of the Year? I like that. Greg, get on.
We're close. You're Forbes
One day.
30 under 30. We're getting there, you know?
Yeah, we got to get you out there. I want Andy, actually. I want Andy Cortez.
I think that'd be a great
Person of the Year.
representative for us.
What
honestly.
year do you think you'd rep best coming up?
Probably like 2024. I
Oh,
feel like
wow,
there's
early.
gonna be a lot of
Yeah.
there's gonna be a lot of stuff happening that year.
The real
Okay,
question,
cool.
Andy, is if they ask you like what was like working at Kind of Funny, are you gonna do the thing that Kevin was gonna do if we went to streaming, where you just burn this shit down?
I was really bummed that I didn't get to do that.
Yeah. You guys are all monsters. They should
Tear it all
be
down.
destroyed.
Music by Andy. Guess who?
Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer.
back,
Hans
baby.
Zimmer previously announced he would retire from composing for superhero films after Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. which
You hit
featured-
a fucking swish 3-pointer and you walk away from the game.
This is a walk-off home run right here, man.
Junkie XL came in.
We got
Fucking
John
ruined
we got John Elway retiring on 2 Super Bowls.
However, he then accepted to compose the score for X-Men: Dark Phoenix.
Oh my
and
God.
after that, decided he couldn't stop there, so he came back to compose for this film. And I gotta say, not the worst part of this movie, the score. I was actually pleasantly surprised by it. I loved the overabundant use of the theme, and I loved that it didn't have the insane guitars. Andy Cortez were kind of funny.
Hans Zimmer's straight up pulling a one more game at night. like he's on 4 straight losses of Call of Duty Warzone, just getting destroyed. Like, nah, one more, dude, one more. We're gonna.
He's literally doing the Undertaker thing where he can't leave on a bad match, but he keeps getting bad matches.
Oh God. In terms of release date, this film had 7 release dates, the first being December 20th, 2019. I don't need to tell you the rest. You know the story. COVID happened. Then in September 2020, it was pushed once more to December 25th, and it released on streaming platform HBO Max at the same time as being in theaters. It had a budget of $200 million. I was about to say 20, and I couldn't get out of the 20. $200 million. As first reported by Variety, actress Gal Gadot was paid $10 million for this film, 33 times more what she made on the first film. That's insane.
Get that back.
That she only made $300K for the first one compared to like what normal superhero people get paid for shit. But anyway, 10 million makes a lot more sense. Box office of $102 million, 22 million in America. The rest was overseas. Following its opening weekend, Warner Brothers announced that HBO Max saw total viewing hours on the film's first day more than triple in comparison to a typical day in the previous month. It was reported that 23% of viewers had subscribed to HBO Max in order to watch the film. The company also said that Wonder Woman 1984 was already the most watched straight-to-streaming title of the year, beating Hamilton, until the Disney Plus numbers came in. The report states that HBO Max saw a record of 554,000 app downloads on the weekend following the release of Wonder Woman, but that was blown out of the water by Disney Plus, which saw over 2.3 million new app downloads following Soul's release. HBO Max is currently only available in the US, so that does kind of say a lot about the numbers of like, it's a little skewed. But heading into the holidays, the streaming service has 86 million subscribers, which is insane. HBO Max only has 12 million. So there you go. A runtime of approximately 7.5 hours, but really 2 hours and 31 minutes. Before we get into what we think about this, I do want to give this movie 2 awards, 2 very special Tim Gettys inaugural awards.
Big deal.
Inaugural awards. Wow, the first
Inaugural
awards of
awards.
2020. Kevin, roll the graphic.
Is this a podcast of some sort? Within a podcast?
Yeah.
Tim Gettys Awards
Thank you.
2021. It's time to give them out.
He was in Forbes. Now he's giving awards.
Secret Delight. Right?
All right, I'll give it the Secret Delight. I love that it was the one lone scroll. All right, so my first Tim Gettys inaugural award of 2021 is the absolute best trailer ever made relative to the quality of the movie that is not a Zack Snyder film award.
Yeah.
So DCEU getting a lot of these. Definitely getting a lot of these. It also gets the biggest waste of a movie being explicitly 80s focused and not taking advantage of that in any interesting way whatsoever, and making the super competent character from the first movie a complete and total buffoon. Steve Trevor, R.I.P. Jesus Christ.
Man, you want to talk about somebody who should have been left dead?
Oh my God. It's just ridiculous. Here we have this guy. He's like a super dope pilot. He's kind of like a spy. He does all this cool shit in the first movie. He comes here, gets transported to the future, which granted, I understand would throw you off. But he's walking around like fucking how Nick says that Mark Wahlberg walks around just bumping into people.
Hey, what's going on with this
That's
thing?
Alec
Is it a
Baldwin,
piece of
actually.
art? Or is-
Whatever.
Hey, what's going on with this? Is it a trash can or a piece of art? Can I fly it? Hey, is that a break dancer? Can I fly it?
I like
Whoa,
that Nick
he's gonna
couldn't
kick.
pivot.
I know I can't do Alec Baldwin.
I thought you would just
Alec
start
Baldwin in
bumping
my
into
life.
things.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I love it. Anyways, what did you guys think of Wonder Woman 1984? Greg, I want to start with you.
Man, you know, like just I think I tweeted, right, like it has some good ideas. I like the cast of it, right? Like I just on paper or whatever, but what a movie that just doesn't come together, I think, at all. Like there's like there's something weird to it. Like Nick, and before we were going into this, we didn't spoil anything, but Nick was like, "Oh yeah, I tried to rewatch it, do it." I did that this morning too, just to make sure I had the second half plot beats because it's 2.5 fucking hours for some reason. Eric Castro, a friend of the show, of course, tweeted over the weekend after he watched. He's like, "This feels like a director's cut of a movie. This feels like what you would put out on the DVD or Blu-ray after the fact for the fans who want more content, right?" But on its first blushing thing, 2.5 hours of this where not a lot's happening. I remember pausing it at one point when we wanted to take a bathroom break, and it was like at the hour and 20 minute mark. And I'm like, keep in mind, Wonder Woman hasn't been dressed as Wonder Woman for at least an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? She did the mall thing and then did
That was
this.
it.
Like, we'll get into it a little bit in the plot, but like when they started back on Themyscira and they were doing like the Olympic Games thing or whatever, right? That scene hit for me. I was feeling it. And then I was like, it seemed like this is going on a bit, but okay, I was still enjoying it. Can't wait to see how they do this. And as soon as they got to the mall stuff, I was like, what are we doing here? She's like doing this weird, like the effects look bad where she's doing this weird whip and then gliding, and it's like, okay, it's like an extent, and then she's saving people and it's all hokey and it's this, but then like later on when she's fucking running and it looks awful. Like that looks awful. Somebody sent to me the gif afterwards of the iconic scene I know you all remember from Smallville of when Clark and the Flash are running and the Flash turns around and runs away from him because he's that much faster.
Of course.
And it was like, that looks better than I think Wonder Woman's movie running looks like. And then just all like, this is going to be one of those movies where I know people are always like, oh, they just love to pick apart movies or whatever. Like there are so many things I'm going to call out in this fucking movie that are we're not even picking apart. These are just incredible leaps of logic that ruin a film. And then on top of it, I had the blessing of watching it here with Jen, Lucy James, and Zach Ryan. And of course, me being the DC guy, I'm sitting there, and they start into this movie, and like, of course, the DCEU wants to think it's big swinging dick like Marvel, and everybody understands it, like MCU's 25 movies or whatever it is now, which they don't. And they're watching this, and when Wonder Woman wishes Steve back to life, and the wind blows in her hair, and like the hokiest fucking shit of all time, Zach goes, if they explain that her boyfriend's back from the dead to a wish, I'm gonna have a problem. And I was like, uh-oh. And sure as it went, like then everybody started getting more. And I had to stop the movie and be like, I know this sucks. All these decisions they're making suck. You have to understand that magic exists in the DC universe. Like that they've never bothered to explain that to you, really. They've never gone out of their way. Remember that they didn't do anything fucking clever like MCU did, where they're like, you know what? Thor's not a god. He's kind of an alien. There's this. They didn't slowly introduce any of that shit. Like there should have probably been a Justice League Dark movie already explaining this. But no, magic just fucking exists. So strap in. This movie's going to be fucking nonsense. And it was goddamn nonsense the entire way through.
Kevin Koala.
What a terrible fucking waste of time. I can't
such a waste of time.
Such a waste of time. This movie doesn't know what it wants to be, and none of the aspects that it is are good. I will stand there to anyone that's like, oh no, it had moments. Like, no, it didn't. Like those moments are so far between and so muddled with a bunch of bullshit that it's just an utter waste of time. God, I don't understand. Oh, I was just gonna say, I don't understand how this got made, how they decided to put this up to get people to increase the numbers of HBO Max. Like, this is like the biggest advertisement of like, don't get HBO Max. It's not fucking worth it. You come in to watch something, you watch this, and then you're like, all right, well, I'm going to cancel my subscription.
I don't understand, Kevin, to jump off your point, and this is never to be like throwing shade at anybody, because a lot of these people actually do know, and they're friends and our peers and stuff. But when screeners or whatever went out for this 2 weeks ahead of time, people were like, holy shit, this is amazing. Yada. And I was like, oh man, like I know how much people liked Wonder Woman. If you remember in a review of Wonder Woman, I was like, I enjoy it, but it's not like my best thing. But second viewing or third, I liked it more and blah, blah, blah. But I was like, holy shit, if you guys like that and you like this, I can't wait for this. And then to sit down, I was like, nope, this ain't.
Yeah, but that's always the way it is with these DC movies. I don't know what they make them sign when they come out of these screeners, but they're only allowed to say specific things about specific stuff. And it kind of paints the movie in a very good light. It was the same with pretty much every DC movie that's come out, if you remember correctly. I remember following like a lot of people I follow that review movies. I'm not going to point fingers, but they're all like, I love this specific aspect of this one emotion of this one thing. And everyone said the same thing. And I'm like, what fucking DC PR guy like put you all in a room with a gun to your head and said, only talk about how this makes you feel as a child. I'll disagree with you guys a little bit on some of this. Like you guys are saying that the movie was jumbled and it was a mess. I don't think it was. I think they nailed what they were going for. I just think what they were going for wasn't necessarily a great concept to begin with. I think Patty Jenkins wanted to make a retro homage to like the 70s and early 80s Wonder Woman show. And that's why you have the cameo by Linda
Dynamite.
Carter.
It's not an all is forgiven thing, but even today, hate watching this. When we got there, I got chills again. I was like, all right, that's fucking cool.
So I think she said, I think she said, I want to make a campy movie. I want this movie to involve magic, and I want it to feel like it's an extended episode of the show. And I think they nailed that. And I think Pedro Pascal's direction of being this larger than life, ridiculously over the top, like bad guy who you can kind of sympathize with. I think he did a good job with that. I think Kristen Wiig did a good job like with her character. I just think the concept or the foundation of what they were going for was just not good compared to the first one, right? It was just tonally off. When I watched this, I was like, this feels like it's a reboot of the Wonder Woman franchise from the first movie. It doesn't feel like an extension of it, if that makes sense. And to Tim's earlier point, or to Greg's earlier point, Steve Rogers, what's the
Trevor.
Chris Pine? Trevor. His character has these fun moments where you're like, oh, that's the character from the first one, but he's so fish out of water in this that you're like, is this a comedy? Are we watching an 80s comedy about someone that like time traveled? So I think it stands on its own 2 feet. I'm sorry, Greg. I think it's from start to finish makes sense. And I think that they did a lot of decent job, like it was tying the first act to the third act and all the themes and stuff come through. Cause I watched it and I was like, you know, she has that moment where she pulls her aside. She says, you can't cheat your way to a win. Right. And that's kind of like the whole point of this. She can't like just wish that her boyfriend comes back because he's not there. Right. She can't skip ahead. She can't cheat. It's just not a movie that I think just the direction of it and the tone of it is just not where it should have been. Sorry, I'm done now.
No, this is your time.
I think this is a super unremarkable movie, and I think that's like the best compliment I could possibly say about it. I'm glad I didn't read the screener sort of reviews that y'all are talking about. I'm glad I didn't hear about any of that stuff. What I did hear was a lot of Twitter, right? The day of, you know, Greg was trashing on it, Blessing was trashing on it. I saw a lot of people trashing on it, and I am happy I read those because I think it set the expectations so low for me that when I came out of it, I was like, I was okay, I guess. Like I was expecting a Tire Fire, Suicide Squad type movie where it was going to be offensive on all fronts, writing, characterization, acting, story, plot, and it was just only offensive on like most of them. But I think Pedro Pascal carries this movie. I think even though you all are, you know, not super happy with Steve Trevor and the Chris Pine fish out of water stuff, it still made me laugh. And I think I think Chris Pine and Pedro Pascal were entertaining enough for me not to think it was an absolute waste of time. And I thought Gal Gadot was good as well. But aside from that, any of the story aspects, they kept trying to make you care about this universe. And I just ultimately didn't care about it at the end.
And that's weird too. It's weird too because like someone was saying like they didn't use the 80s properly, and we'll get to that I'm sure when we start talking about that. But I think that the whole point of setting it in the 80s and centering it around the nuclear arms race was clever. And I like how you feel it's going just completely out of control in the third act. They just didn't quite nail it, you know. And
my problem is I feel like I don't know script revisions or anything where that would have happened, but I feel like you see the pangs in this of what the out was going to be, and then they don't use it. And I really felt like to this Chris Pine thing where it's like, oh my God, like this Steve is not nearly as cool as the other Steve was. And like that really bizarre scene when they wake up in bed together and he's like, this is the best room ever. And she's like, yes, it is. Never leave. I was like, okay, they're going to do this thing where it's magic. That's not really him. He's gonna he's this like, you know, facsimile. He's this bad copy. He's gonna start showing his cracks. The same with all the other wishes as we get going. Like it's going to fall apart in a way that makes sense that we go back to a normal reality. When they don't, they go through it all the way, never doing that, and never feeling like they fully commit to him being back because none of these are the decisions. I feel and I don't mean to be this guy, but the character that Diana and Steve were in the first Wonder Woman, I don't feel like this is how they would act in this. So maybe it is a little bit of the magic from the stone, but is it? Because they never tell me that. And then we go all the way through it and we get to the other, and it's what the fuck is going on? And then we get out of it, and then they're all sitting around like at the end and like, oh man, it's this clearly filmed Christmas scene when they were like, shit, this shit's coming out at Christmas. Everybody go do a Christmas scene. Let's get in there or whatever. I know originally it was too, but like, I don't think this was original. Anyway, this whole like epilogue there of them, everything being hunky dory again. It's like, what the fuck? Like how is the world dealing with this? How is the world like not fucking permanently flipped out and freaked? Like we don't put the genie back in the bottle anyway. Nobody's wish is ever, I wish none of this happened, which is what I thought would have done it to go poof and then like take it all back.
That was where I thought the Pedro Pascal character was going to get to. So what I thought was going to happen was he was going to see the effect it was having on his child. Yeah. And he was going to go, oh my God, I rescind my wish. But then by him doing it, it rescinded everyone's wish and everything went back to where it was before. And he was just normal human being, and then realized, oh gosh, I've been wrong this whole time. I gotta like stop trying to, con people and stuff like that.
Nick,
and
where are
especially
you at?
But the entire world rescinding their wish. I was like, there's not one person who's like, I wish for more new shoes. I'm not giving these fucking shoes up. These shoes are done. Like,
they did that by Wonder Woman literally looking into the camera while the most overused hype song of all time plays. The song featured in X-Men Days of Future Past, the song featured in Kick-Ass. And again, fucking epic song. But it is such a cheap shot to be like, hey, here's a let's go moment. And it's like, no, this is stupid as shit. Nick Scarpino.
So the scene when she's learning to fly, which I think arguably is and I like this scene personally.
And like literally, not even for a joke or whatever. Like she's not flying, she's falling with style. she's figuring out how to move her arms and angle herself to fly.
I like the scene. I was like, this is an interesting concept, and like her being able to ride lightning, and like because he inspired her to do that, I thought that was cool for their relationship. But the song playing on paper. Again, they didn't nail quite a lot of the stuff they're going for.
Wait, hold on, real quick.
Behind this is what's up, Tim?
Let me answer your question, and I want to like correct myself. Actually, that is the song that I'm talking about.
That is the song. Okay, I was going to say
when she's looking at the camera. It's originally from Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Okay, I was like, I've heard this song over every freaking trailer, right?
Exactly.
Why would they use that song? Did Hans Zimmer just like, I don't want to. But it's not an original song.
So Freddie Wong tweeted, and he was just like, this is like the most egregious example of having a temp song, and they're like, oh well, we can't find anything better, so just leave it in the edit, and like
that literally sounds like what they did. They were like, how about this? Like something, when they have a music editor who's like, this is the feel we're going for, and they pull songs from other movies. That's literally. So Patty Jenkins must have been like, they nailed it. Let's just use that. And I got to imagine the music editor is like, no. So like,
please, no, don't do that. No,
this song is so well known and such a meme at this point that you can't. And she's like, just nail it, just keep it in.
But then what I made a mistake of earlier is when she's looking at the camera talking, it's the song from Batman v Superman from the beginning of the movie when when he's being raised and all that shit, and it's just like. Just such bizarre fucking choices all around. So I don't think this movie is as bad as it sounds like Kevin and Greg do. I think it's more disappointing than anything because this is the one that should have been the best. This should have been, before we even got into this review, before we watched this movie, this should have been number one with a bullet. It is the complete opposite of Birds of Prey to me, where I was like, there's no fucking chance this movie's going to be good. And it was like, oh, this is actually really great. This one had everything going for it. We liked Wonder Woman, the first movie, enough. Right? We love Gal Gadot. We love the cast of this. Pedro Pascal, are you fucking kidding me? Seeing this trailer, the Ragnarok vibes, like all of it, it was every single element should have added up to being this amazing thing. Instead, it feels like a lot of those elements weren't even used. Like instead of Ragnarok, like Nick brought up the whole thing about the arms race and all that stuff being set in the 80s. And like, that is actually really cool. And it definitely could have made sense in a movie that took that more seriously. But it doesn't do that. It also doesn't take it into the 80s neon side that the trailer completely promised us, right? And instead of that, it kind of just turns into this thing where there's this amazing concept of the villain can grant wishes. Like, I think that is such a cool thing, but it's so hard to show. And it's so hard to get that right. But man, they really made choices to get it really wrong. And I think that was to a disservice to the blockbuster movie. Honestly, it's like this. I don't want to compare it to MCU movies. It's just like for this to come out and like to be a competent 70s Superman style movie that's coming out in 2020. Like, I don't know that there's really an audience for that. And I think that really a lot of the reactions are showing that. Andy, what's up?
I totally agree with that, Tim. I think it's like we all saw Wonder Woman and were surprised that it was, oh, wow, this is actually a good movie. I enjoy this Wonder Woman. Now let's add 80s style onto that. What does that look like? Yeah. And I think that just gets our expectations up. And we thought this was going to be the one. This was going to be the one that could easily be compared to the top flight of the MCU movies. And it just missed quite a bit.
And I think that's unfortunate too. Sorry, go ahead, Gary.
Just to Tim's point, like disappointment is the right way to put it. To be clear, like, yeah, I don't hate this movie. I said I hate watched it, but that's just because I'm like, oh, what even happened? Oh, this fucking dumb decision. This fucking dumb decision. I still don't think it's at the bottom of the list or anything like that, or where we're going to show up on in review. It is just, I think, more than anything, a huge disappointment of they had all of these amazing actors. They had, they had Wonder Woman succeeding against all odds. I think back to Nick's point of like how it doesn't feel in universe and it just feels like this weird thing. And is it a reboot? It's the problem as usual with the DCEU, where it's just that nobody has the balls to say there's no Kevin Feige, right?
Feige.
There's no Kevin there going like, this is what it is. This is what we do, right? Like they started, I use it in quotes and loosely, with Zack Snyder doing that and then started doing it, but then they wanted to get out of it, right? The execs or whatever. And I'm not even, again, not saying Zack Snyder was Kevin Feige, but he gave them the template that other people started using and then they started changing and yada, yada, yada. And then you get here to like just the nonsense this movie has to do. And not only that, then, even though they made a point of like, DCEU doesn't really exist, but it kind of exists, but it doesn't exist, but these movies will still be in there, but they don't need to cross over with each other. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Like you see them paint like the reverberations of that painting this movie into a corner of Wonder Woman comes in and does all this shit in the fucking mall and then immediately takes out all the cameras. And then there has to be a news reporter being there like, who was this person? Yada, yada, yada. And then we get her saving the city and kicking. And it's like, she's doing all this from the shadows, of course, because fucking in Batman v Superman, right? She turned her back on the world of man 100 years ago, which makes no fucking sense because that's not really what happened. But it just means that she stayed in the limelight so they wouldn't know about it when we get over. It's like, they're just fucking doing gymnastics to get her on their own bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I was going to say to Greg's point, like it's unfortunate because if this had been the third or fourth Wonder Woman movie, I think everyone would have been like, whatever, well, it is what it is. But there's so much that this movie has to bear on its shoulders that makes it so. I almost feel bad for the team that made the movie because it is kind of carrying the DCE right now. And therefore, it is held to a way higher standard than I think some of the mid-tier Marvel movies would have been.
I disagree so hard, man. I feel like the standard is so low for them to have hit with this, and they
I just mean in that regard that
a 70s Wonder Woman movie.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Because Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman, was a very competent film and enjoyable. I think a lot of people put an expectation on this that it needed to be. Like it's supposed to be amazing, right? And I think that makes it difficult for Patty Jenkins and the team to kind of get out of the rut and try to do something silly and new with it. Although I think that they probably should have played this one a little safer and not done the camp aspect of it, because I think that's what's really throwing a lot of people off. Kevin from Kind of Funny.
Was the last Wonder Woman like a very good and competent movie? Because I feel like it was very good until the third act. Like
number 2 on the DCEU in review scale from Kind of.
I mean, like that really sets the bar for DC as
Kev, the words good and competent.
Well, right. What I'm saying is, hold on, sorry, let me just finish. I really feel like that last act in Wonder Woman just totally goes terribly. It's like just a hard crash, and I feel like the movie did the same jump.
Damn, Tim.
Like halfway through, maybe a little bit earlier, where it just goes into a world that is magic that they haven't explained, and we're supposed to kind of just guess what's happening. And I feel like that's the biggest problem the movie has, where it's like the rules of what is going on is not defined at all. Like we kind of get that, like, oh, everybody gets one wish, and like, I mean, they say that over and over again, and that he's manipulating people into using their wishes, but it's like, all right.
I thought was genius. I kind of thought that the idea was genius. Oh, the idea of like, I want to be the wishing stone. So instead of, it's basically a take on wishing for more wishes, but instead of doing that, he goes, I want to be the stone. And then he has to make everyone wish. Like, I thought that was very clever because no one knew it was coming, and it kind of played into his con man roots. And I actually like the fact that the way she has to beat him is by basically by showing everyone the truth, which is sort of being true to yourself and not kidding yourself or not lying to yourself and not cheating your way through something. I think is sort of the theme of the movie. Something that worked out. The problem is it's not as exciting to watch Wonder Woman straight up have a conversation with someone and talk him out of his bad decisions. What we needed was like that to be the secondary character and Cheetah to be the main character that she had to overcome. And that fight, unfortunately, you were just like, let's just get through this. Let's get through this badly CG, terrible makeup, horribly washed out color, because you can totally tell when they saw that final character in the editing bay, they were like, this looks like Cats. And everyone tore Cats apart.
What a useless.
Make this look better. And someone was like, well, we could have gone back to 3 years ago when we were figuring this out and just had Kristen Wiig wear a cool costume. We did not need her to actually look like a cheetah. We don't need that.
That was one of the things I was fascinated about, that I thought was another one was going to be out, and how they were going to explain this and get us to a big bad for them to fight and figure this out. was when Wonder Woman and Steve, find the remnants of the wishing stone and pick up that thing. And she's like, oh my God, and drops it. She's like, oh my God, it's old God magic. It's this, that, the other. Right. I thought that was going to be the introduction, that this was all a plot by Circe, who's a Wonder Woman supervillain that's usually like, right up there with her Lex or whatever, arguably Cheetah, but you know what I mean? That she was going to be this one, and this was her grand scheme, her grand spell. And she was pulling all the strings to ruin man, right? And we'd have them fight at the very end to finish this all off in the third act. And so when that's just dropped in, it's like, oh my God, it's a thing from them. They're just, and I forget even which God they reference. I'm not boned up on my Greek.
It went nowhere. That plot line went nowhere.
That was it. That's the explanation. That's how we're going to, again, to think about everybody who's in the crowd who only knows the DCEU as fucking loose and crazy threads as those are of like Batman v Superman and what that world established is now like, wait, so it's just some god made a stone and put it out there to fuck with everybody, and now it's like, what are you talking about?
It's interesting because you guys are talking about how like magic threw you off, or at least Greg is talking about, and I just
I was prepared for it, is what I'm saying. I think for a general audience, it throws.
Yeah, I totally understand that, and you're absolutely right. But for me, the second you introduce Greek gods into anything, I'm like, cool, anything can happen, right? So to me, when we start the movie off with we're an island of Amazonian warriors who were created by the same mythology that created the Greek gods, I was like, anything can happen. And so the stone to me wasn't necessarily, it didn't throw me off that the stone existed. It was just, what threw me off is that they had to establish what the rules of the stone were and then get it in the hands of the bad guy. And that took an hour and some change. And then Greg, to your point, the cardinal sin of this movie is that we see Wonder Woman in one scene, and it's a mall scene, which parts of it are actually kind of fun. I'm like, oh, this is interesting, like an interesting way to introduce this character instead of a grand, like big epic thing, because we just saw that on Themyscira. She's just saving some people in a mall. Okay, it's a little weird that they chose to have this like group of like completely incompetent idiots rob a jewelry store at the local mall in Brea, but whatever, that's fine. This is where we're setting this. But then we don't see Wonder Woman again for an hour and 20 minutes. And it's like, what are we here? Tim Gettys, what's up?
What did you prefer, Nick? Did you prefer the guy that got pushed through the giant drum thing and like kind of rolled around for a bit, or did you like when she pushed the little kid and she kind of like flew into the giant teddy bear?
So I will be honest, when she pushed the kid into the teddy bear and the kid like laughed, I was
How
like,
did I know? Andy,
I was like, that's adorable.
Watching this movie and I'm like, Nick's gonna love it. Nick's gonna fucking love it.
No, I think the scene is ultimately doesn't necessarily work, and I think to it
just
doesn't
the kid
work
part.
because of
Nick was gonna love the kid part.
Oh, the kid part got me, of course, because that's what it should happen right there. At one point, Wonder Woman should save a kid, and the kid should be like, "This is awesome! I'm seeing like a real life superhero." Uh-huh. It was cute. What was weird was
I feel like it's
like,
just Patty Jenkins was watching
anyone.
Shazam. I was like, oh fuck, cribbing notes here of like what people liked about this movie. Shit, we should put this in our
But it's weird because when you start thinking about it, you're like, okay, she's like, shh, don't tell anyone. There's 400 people watching this. Also, after she flew in and took two of the guys out is when she takes the cameras out. So they have half of this stuff because she didn't think to take the cameras out beforehand. And it's very strange. The other thing that I wondered, I was like, there's a moment where she goes, we got to get to the Middle East. I forget what country they
Egypt.
have to go to.
They go to Egypt.
Is it Egypt? Thank you. And she goes, we got to get there, but you can't get there because you don't have a passport.
You're burning so much plot stuff. I feel like if we're getting in, just hit me with the fucking song.
Okay.
Hold on. Kevin's got something to say.
The question I had for this was, what has Diana Prince been doing for 60 years? Has she just been working at the Smithsonian?
Yeah.
Like,
Didn't you see the photos that are
Picture
saying she liberated people from concentration camps, which was an interesting choice to put her into. She went to New York with her the one who dressed her in the first movie. She was there as an old woman. She started Trevor Ranch and then apparently left that when she realized she's not aging.
It was just one of those things where I'm like, why at this point, like I would expect a woman of her, like having lived 100 years or whatever, basically being immortal and being incredibly competent and incredibly strong, to just have vast resources at this point. And don't get me wrong, her apartment's baller as shit, and shout out to the Watergate building, which is hilarious that they actually said it there. But I was like, how do you not have a private plane at this point? Like, how are you not balling out? You've got all of these abilities. I don't know.
That's Bruce Wayne's thing, like being rich.
Yeah.
Right?
He's rich. That's his power.
Just one more thing. Like the plot also, like, was it original or have you guys just like forgotten the ending of Aladdin where it's like, all right, he turned himself into the stone, he became the genie. It's just like, why was the pun? Like, shouldn't when he wished, that
But
he
they
was
did it really early here.
Yeah,
That's the end of Aladdin.
No, I know,
I mean,
but I'm
Kev,
just saying,
Kev,
like,
the bigger thing to me is it's Death Note. It's Code Geass, but done poorly. It's just like all of the like, oh, there's this cool fucking power
so
to grant
poorly.
wishes or whatever. And like when he uses the TV studio, it's like, guess what? Death Note did that way better 10, 15 years ago.
See,
Well,
I thought all that stuff was fine. I just don't think it was it just wasn't exciting. I was like, this makes sense. Sure, this checks out. And Pedro Pascal is out there just, man, he is putting in the work on this character. He is like, I don't know what happened. Maybe he saw an early cut before they filmed all his scenes, and he was like, I got to take this shit to 11 because I'm going to throw this amazing wig on, and I'm just going to be this character who I think his character, and I think one of the moments in the movie that I thought was like, oh, I wish they had gone this way with it, was the moment where Kristen Wiig becomes she's running out of the thing, and then she sees the guy that assaulted her before, and she just kicks him down the fucking
Still in a suit.
That guy has not.
Well,
that guy's been on a 5-day binger.
I go down to the Congress. I go there. I stump for big tobacco. Then I get a bottle of fucking booze and just wander the park. That's what I do every night. That's why
Nobody sees me for a week.
But so that moment of her like becoming the villain and kicking that guy down the street, I was like, oh, that's really cool. I wish this were the tone of this movie. I wish it was a little darker, and I wish that
becoming the villain by
used her.
doing what Diana did, and we were all like, yeah, get him. Okay.
Before we get to the plot, let me tell you about our sponsor. I want to tell you all about Gabby. We're looking for ways to save money, right? Of course we are. We always are, but especially now. So let me ask you this. How would you like to keep an extra $961 a year in your pocket? Andy, I know you want that $961.
Give it to me,
exactly. That's exactly how much Gabby customers save per year on average on car and home insurance. I checked out Gabby. It's super great. You get to go check it out. It just checks to see if your insurance across the board is saving you as much money as possible. It's super easy. It's super quick. It's super free. It's fantastic. This is the time of year we go shopping for insurance. Gabby takes the pain out of shopping for insurance by giving you an apples to apples comparison of your current coverage with 40 of the top insurance providers like Progressive, Nationwide, and Travelers. You just link your current insurance account, and in minutes, you'll be able to see quotes for the exact same coverage you currently have. I did it, and I found out that I actually have the best deal already, which is great. It's a nice peace of mind, though, because for years I've been worried. I was like, am I overspending on this? You know, I don't want to do that. I'd much rather save $961 a year, but it's good to know that I have the best I can possibly get. But you aren't so sure of that, so you should check out Gabby. Gabby customers, let's see. If they can't find you savings, they'll let you know so you can relax knowing you have the best rate out there, and they'll never sell you info, so no annoying spam or robocalls. God, there's too many damn robocalls these days. You're probably overpaying on car and home insurance. See how much Gabby can save you. It's totally free to check out, and there's no obligation. Go to gabi.com/morning show. That's gabi.com/morning show. Gabi.com/morning show. Gabby with an I. And next up, shout out to Green Chef. Green Chef is the first USDA certified organic meal kit company. Green Chef makes eating well easy and affordable with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, or just looking to eat healthier. There's a range of recipes to suit any diet or preference. Joey Noel has been using this for years now. Kevin Coelho has been doing it with that vegetarian option because of Paula. Ain't that right, Kev?
It's really good, even though there's no meat. I love it.
Yeah. But if you want meat, there's meat options as well. Blessing's been using it. He's been doing the meat option, and he loves that. Green Chef is the first USDA certified organic meal kit company. Green Chef makes eating well easy and affordable with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're any of the things I mentioned before. Green Chef is the first ever and only keto meal kit on the market. It makes sticking to a low carb lifestyle easy with recipes averaging only 14 net carbs each. You go to greenchef.com/morningshow90 and use code morningshow90 to get $90 off, including free shipping. That is greenchef.com/morningshow90 and use code morningshow90 to get $90 off, including free shipping. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well. Let's get into the plot.
You're muted. You're muted. You're
No, I'm not.
No, you just were gated. You're
Oh,
coming
Oh,
into
you're
Oh,
super quiet.
gated.
My apologies.
Everybody! Plop, 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 plop. It's going to be so off tempo. It's going to be so offbeat.
It's good enough. People enjoyed it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Wonder Woman 1984. We open on the island of Themyscira, where we're having the 19th annual These Chicks Run games, where they're just out there, they're doing cartwheels and throwing shit and
These
fucking
Chicks
riding
Run
horses and
games.
shooting arrows, and there's smoke and there's all this stuff going on. Guess what, though?
There's this
Already,
competition.
Kevin? Really?
I'm sorry. It's just there's a competition with fucking like what 8 adult women and then a child that they haven't told has magic powers, right? She's just an 8-year-old.
Remember, she doesn't even know, too. And also remember the first Wonder Woman, she wasn't allowed to do anything. So it's an interesting choice that her mom's like, oh, fuck, there's scamps out there doing things because she wasn't fucking doing anything in the first movie.
This was a weird choice for me, and I don't think it was because I think the young actress that they had cast, I think she did a good job, and I think ultimately the scene ended up working. But when I was watching this back a second time, I was like, she should have been a teenager, and I think the reason why that would have worked better for me was because when the idea of becoming a teenager, trying to figure out who you are, that's like when you start figuring out who you are. And in this one, I was like, she's just so young. It just seems weird. And then just scale wise, you have all these amazing like women running around who are jacked and like super fit. And then you've got this little tiny person just kind of like leading the flock. No, that's the wrong word. The group.
Is she doing different stunts too? Is she doing different things?
I don't know, but all I know is this: by the time they get to the top of that thing, I was like, for sure they have to jump through the Quidditch hoop, right? And then no one did. And I was like, what's the point of the Quidditch hoop?
Yeah,
they throw the
very bizarre shit. Andy, I'm with you. Like she was at least taking the course different, which I was like from the get go. I'm like, are you cheating from the start? Like there should be a designated path of obstacles you have to go through. But Nick, you're totally right. It should have been a teenager.
She was doing different things, and for a while that made me think, oh, is this only her training? Is this her trial to like, because I saw her just not doing the same stuff that the other women were doing, so I was kind of thrown off by that. But I agree with you, Nick. Little tiny baby, like big kid, like just a little kid.
But then the scene goes on for 45 minutes, and they ride
little long. We got it early. I think we understood early what was happening.
They go through and they start shooting arrows to these hoops, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then they do it 19 more times. And if I were in the stands, I'd be like, "This is the part of this competition I hate." I'd go get some popcorn. I'm like, "This is dumb. I can't see anything."
You're just watching banners fall, right?
Smoke that pops up, and
they didn't even have the Tokyo Drift freaking like cell phones to watch what's going on the turns.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. So little Diana's out there. She's doing it. She eventually gets knocked off because she's not. And her mom. And hey, shout out to Robin Wright Penn for popping back up, looking strong as fuck as always.
Looking
like
awesome.
She literally is in Amazon. But she's out there. She's doing her thing. She gets knocked off. Then she starts cheating, like where she's crawling through a fucking sewer and all this other crap, like a little fucking rat,
looking like Yoda.
Rat. Yeah, exactly.
That was good. That was a good call.
She eventually, makes her way back to the thing and starts to run into the thing. Like she's going to run into the center of the thing and win the whole goddamn thing. But then she gets grabbed right by Robin Wright Penn. Is like, nope, you don't get to do this. You cheated. There's no shortcuts to victory, as we were talking about before, right? Truth is the only fucking thing. You can't fucking Robin Wright Penn. She's like, it's fucking truth, you fucking kid.
What's the theme of the movie?
What's interesting though is she doesn't. She says a bunch of things, and they're all well written, and they're all different, a little bit different from each other. But
they weren't sure which one they wanted, so they just kind of shoved it all in there.
I don't know. Like I watched it again, I was like, I'm not sure. Like I know what the theme of the movie is, right? It's very apparent. And but when you have one character who is actually literally a mentor character, pull the protagonist or the protagonist aside and say something to them in the first like 7 minutes of the movie. That's usually when they state the theme. I just wanted her to be like, hey, you can't cheat. Like you can't cheat your way through life. You got to be true to yourself. That's it.
Isn't that the final one she says?
She kind of does. Yes. The final thing she does say is something like that. But then Connie Nielsen comes over and says more stuff to her. And you're like, I think I got the theme, but then they keep talking. And I was like, I don't know if I got the theme. Like what's the theme supposed to be? Anyway, they got it across eventually, but I think it could have been like so much else in this movie. I think it could have been simplified it a little bit more. It had one line where she's like, no, you can't bring your dead boyfriend back from the dead and then expect that to be everything be okay. Tim, what's up?
I just love that we're so desensitized to everything we do here that Greg Miller has just been in this Wonder Woman costume for now 43 minutes. And I don't notice often, but every once in a while I'm distracted by him adjusting his straps.
Yep. When he pinned them up, it was a lot.
I like him pinned up.
And I was like, I'm not gonna bring attention to it. It's not worth it. But then he just did a move where he went like this.
I had to pull my chair.
Oh, and you saw the bottoms.
and it revealed that he is in fact wearing the Wonder Woman bottoms, which is a choice when we're working from home, and
For the record,
seen from the waist up.
For the record, you all had already covered your eyes, and I think disgust and maybe a little bit of excitement when I revealed the top.
Got it.
I did at one point stand up and adjust there and thrust a bit towards the camera, so your eyes were all covered. The viewers are well aware that I am in the Wonder Woman panties as well.
Sorry, back to the plot.
No, this is a great point, and I think like Nick is again, as we all talk about what this movie is, and I think when I was watching this, and we got into where I was like, oh, the 2.5 hours is not going to work for it here. I had Nick in my head because I feel like Nick is always the one talking about like there's a good movie in here. If you edited this, if you left some of this out, if you did this, I think like what we're talking about, this opening scene has 3 distinct voices all trying to give you the plot or like what the movie's going to be about, and it fucks it up somehow. Where it is Diana Prince, gal talking, narrating, like, oh, when I was a kid, I wish I knew some stuff, but I didn't know. And she's talking in the front and back of this. Then, Robin Wright Penn is the one there saying, talking about truth in your heart. Then you're right. Her mom comes down and is like, the world isn't ready for you. And it's like, well, wait a second. Like, first off, Gal should have just said whatever it's about, more about truth or love or whatever the hell it's going to be, or just left it to Robin Wright Penn, or the world isn't ready for you. Like, we already fucking got that. We already know that. This is Wonder Woman. This is the second Wonder Woman. It's her 4th DCEU movie. We're aware that she stayed away for a while before she came out, whatever it was. But they give us that to then get us to 1984, where it's the high-flying 80s, right? And we start, the tube TV, and it is Pedro Pascal out there just fucking killing it in this role. You know what I mean? Just, hey, we need you to eat scenery and be crazy. And he's like right there, right? Life is good, but it can be better or whatever.
You know what
the opposite, right? Life is good, but it can be
great
better.
meme.
I love that somewhere,
fantastic.
this is me totally projecting on this, but somewhere in Pedro Pascal, he was like, they made me wear a fucking helmet for Mandalorian for so long, and now I don't have to wear the helmet anymore, and I'm just gonna be insane.
But also, Pedro, let's get that beard back ASAP, brother. Like I just can't. I can't do it.
He gained a little weight. There's no problem with that. You know what I mean?
No. I just can't. I can't do the beard. I don't think it's a weight thing, Kevin. It's just a smoothness of.
No,
Pedro Pascal
I think
it's like a little baby.
Since we've seen Oberyn, he's gotten a little bit.
He's filled out.
He's gotten older.
He's gotten older. And it just
but let's just get it back. Like I need it back, and I feel like I'd have the same effect, and maybe I'm projecting my own biases here. Go ahead, Nick.
Maybe you were just responding. Maybe the real response subconsciously was to the wig that they made him wear for no reason.
Hit it. I don't know. Wigging out with Scarpino.
What's going on, everyone? There was just, as far as I could tell, one egregious wig in this, and it was Pedro Pascal's. But I think it fit with the character.
Diana had terrible.
Does Diana? Was she?
When she's breaking up with Steve along the thing, Lucy James is like, "What the fuck is up with this wig?"
Oh, was that a reshoot for some reason? Why would she? I don't know. It's weird.
Wow, the wig professor not knowing this is wild.
Well, there's just
2021 off to a bad start for Nick Scarpino.
There's just so much to unpack in this movie that you guys are going to have to forgive me for missing that one. But Pedro Pascal's hair in this is epic. But it does the thing that I can't stand when they put actors in wigs is that it just, when they get frazzled, and at the end of it, when he's supposed to be going crazy maniacal, it doesn't move. And it's the same issue I had with the Queen's Gambit, where like I loved that show so much, but her hair is exactly the same every single time. It doesn't move, and it starts to become unnerving after a while.
He has like the flaps. He has the little flap downs going quite a bit, where like he's talking to his son, and he's like, "Isn't son's name Maximilian, right?"
No,
what's his
name? Artemis, right?
Artemis.
Artemis.
I was close. Anyway, but he's got like the little flaps coming down here, very similar to Rafe in Uncharted 4 at the end of Uncharted 4, Greg, when they're fighting in the boat. His hair is all frazzled. Yeah, very similar vibes.
To me, it gave me Sylvester Stallone vibes, because Sylvester Stallone has those terrible hair plugs, but then he always has 2 wisps going this way to prove, hey, this is real hair. This is real hair.
But to defend Pedro Pascal's wig in this, I read it as it's a wig in canon.
Maybe. And that's why I think it works.
I think makes it work really well.
That's fair.
Oh,
I think it works with the character. I just think it was a little distracting at points.
Whether it's a wig or like a ridiculous dye job, I think it fits with him being like this sleazy sales guy.
Tim, I think that's wishful thinking. I think you're
I see what you did there.
I didn't mean to do that. That's cool though.
That's cool.
It's gonna drive me crazy. I can't remember this fucking kid's name.
And I'm trying to Google it. I can't find it.
Yeah, I was looking through the cast list, and there's a lot of fucking people in this movie. And then when I'm just looking for, you're right. It's It's got a.
Is it like
It's
a
Max,
tra-
but it's not Max.
It's like
I don't think it's Max.
Atreus or
Yeah.
Is it No, that's like
No.
God of War, right?
That's
But it is
from
something like that.
Never Ending
Yeah.
Story.
it's a cool ass name where I'm like, that's a badass name, dude.
Well, we'll find
I'll
it.
look,
Everybody
I'll
get
look it
back
up.
to us.
I'll look it up while
Everybody-
you
all
go
right,
to
cool.
the plot, Greg.
Anyway, so yeah, we're off the island. Where I already said we're 1984. Life is good, but it can be better. It's black gold, and that's what his company's all about. It's totally a Ponzi scheme of like you don't have to work hard for your money. You don't have to do anything. We got oil. You come and commit to us. You can get oil too. You'll get rich. You'll get rich quick. Not have to put any work. The American dream. Meanwhile, this is all happening in Washington D.C. These motherfuckers steal a car. They're driving it around, being a bunch of morons. They're about to hit somebody. Wonder Woman boots the car out of the way.
Alistair.
Yes.
Alistair.
Alistair.
Sorry.
Wonder Woman does a bunch of little shit like that on the road, saving people. She at one point, I forget what happens, but like she saves a bride in really bad CG, and it's like whoa, and like swings her to safety. I guess she was about to fall in the water or some shit. Who the fuck?
But so this is interesting to me because we're starting this off and we're seeing Wonder Woman in these little moments, but all she's doing is like saving people and solving crimes that are, in my opinion, beneath the stature of what the character should be, right? And that's weird that after 60 years, all she's done is do that. And I think that's the vibe they were going for, which is why when it builds up to the mall scene, they were like, we're nailing this. And I'm like, she's saving people in a mall? She literally fought in trench warfare in World War One. Like she literally, that epic moment where we finally see the Wonder Woman costume in the first Wonder Woman, and she walks out and starts fucking deflecting bullets from the German soldiers. That was amazing. And then the first time we see her in this, she kicks a Pontiac out of the way.
This is, I think, honestly, one of the reasons I don't like magic in the DC universe, period, not even in the DCEU, but also why I've never been able to truly connect, I think, with Wonder Woman as a character. Like, I don't like Clark and Superman, right? There's a dichotomy there. Bruce and Batman, there's a dichotomy. You understand how one half begets the whole, right? With Wonder Woman and Diana, it's never been made clear, I feel, in terms of like here's the definitive version. Here's what it is. Linda Carter is amazing. I was so excited when we finished this. I immediately started it up, and people in the room were as excited about Linda Carter as I was. So I started up just to watch the intro of the Wonder Woman TV show. But even there, like as a kid who watched Wonder Woman TV show, like it was a cool, fun, bright, colorful show that was the superhero. But I don't remember there being like a definitive, this is what's driving Diana Prince to do this, right? And I feel like that's the problem we have with this character in this movie, let alone with Wonder Woman in the DCEU. The more they go to prequel Diana and work forward, the harder it gets to be to understand where she is in this. And so, yeah, like for me, she does all this stuff. We've kind of talked the mall scene to death. Not really, but we have talked about it. But right after the mall, when she goes back to her apartment, right there, I feel there is nothing. And I am, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not caught on, a big comic book fan, there is nothing I feel more fucking impotent and just limp than seeing a superhero in their fucking rad-ass costume in a live action anything. Their superhero in their live act walk back into their normal life and walk into their bedroom. Like she doesn't have a layer. She doesn't have something that moves. She doesn't hide her. Like, what is she? It's just, she has this one room with all these closed circuit TVs and this gold armor. We eventually find out. But in this, we just see her walk back into her daily life, which is, working at the Smithsonian and then running around in her costume with the costume covered up and kicking shit out of kicking cars, but then she saves but she can't fly and she can move fast, but not like flash fast. Like what the fuck is she
roller
doing?
skates though, kind of. That's what it looks like.
Definitely, yeah. She's definitely on fucking strings.
Greg, you're a huge comic book fan, but I don't know how you missed the clear nuclear man symbol on the floor of the mall. From Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
Well, such a definitive character in the Superman mythos. You know what I mean? I'm sorry I didn't get to that in the mall. But yeah, the mall stuff happened. Like I said, we already talked about it. Generic ass people break into a fucking jewelry store. There's a really gross thing of nachos that go into the arcade. You're like, yeah, I want that. There's some really fat fucks eating cheeseburgers. I love getting cast for that. How did I get passed over for that? I can take a bite out of a cheeseburger, Patty Jenkins. Fuck.
Greg, you would have nailed that. You would have fucking nailed it. Yeah.
I don't know how many takes you need. I'll keep doing it. Spit the cheeseburger after the first 15 into the bucket. Then the next 15, I don't eat them. And the next 15, I eat them, Patty. Let's go.
You're hungry again after this. It's a lot of work.
And so, the mall, I think a jumbled scene of a million different things going on. And again, setting up that this is going to be campy. And I think that if there's one thing I thought we had fucking learned from Joel Schumacher, it's do not do campy superhero movies. Just don't do it. Like it does not work the way you think it's going to work. And this one will continue not to work that way.
Well, I think what happened was they saw Ragnarok and was like, we can do something different. But what they failed to realize is that Ragnarok wasn't like the second movie in a franchise.
We are as audiences, we had already been established. Hey, Thor's cool with the Avengers. Don't like his solo stuff that much.
Right.
So like,
So we gotta
cool.
do
Let's get
something
weird
different.
with it.
Yeah.
Whereas this, they were like, man, DCEU sucks. Wonder Woman was a bright spot. Let's have more of that, I guess. Let's do
take a
another
huge
prequel.
chance.
Why do another fucking prequel? What are you doing? All right. Anyways, she goes home and hangs up her, bustier and her stuff, and then she's back to her regular old life. This is when we are introduced to Kristen Wiig, right? Barbara Minerva. She is a fucking dork, am I right, guys? Kristen Wiig's wearing glasses and her hair's up. This woman's not attractive at all, and so she's totally looked past by everybody at the Smithsonian. Nobody knows who she is. She wants to hit on this one guy, Brad, or something. He with his pop fucking collar. I'll tell you what, a bunch of uppity fucking nerds working at the goddamn Smithsonian, all right? But he's there and he won't do anything with her. You know what I mean? Who the fuck do you think you are, Brad, with your pop collar, right? You're not going skiing on the weekends.
Well,
you're looking at fucking bugs, you weirdo.
Here's my question for you guys. Do you think they nailed the 80s in this?
No.
Okay. Because I didn't think so, but I was like, all the elements are here, but I can't pinpoint why I don't think this works.
There's a mall. Like, that's the element of
there's
it.
a mall, and there's Bartle and James wine coolers, and there's
they have
colors
the Nike
in
shoes.
Fashion.
And there's
But
politics in the background. Like, that's
right.
really kind of what it feels like. I don't know, man.
Really quick, just back to
it's-
Kristen Wiig being such a nerd or whatever. I've been loving the memes of, like, why is this always such a character in every one of these fucking movies? And it's
DC, right?
Guy Pearce in Iron Man 3, and it's Jamie Foxx in Spider-Man. It's always they're nerdy with the glasses, and then they get cool with the glasses off. Like, it's so overplayed. It is, except this time it's not really like Diana saying, "Hey, Kristen Wiig, fuck off, you're a loser. I don't want anything to do with you." So that's like a little bit of a different change, but for the most part, it's the nerdy person with the glasses that wants to be cool and then becomes powerful and a superhero.
Instead of Diana basically telling her to fuck off, they go to lunch and become really good friends. And Diana's like, hey, everything you think about me is not right. I actually don't have that great of a life because I've suffered this horrible loss. And you have a lot of great things going for you. And at the end of that lunch, I'm like, these characters are going to be friends. And if there wasn't a magic wishing stone out in the world, I think Barbara Minerva's life's going to start to look up right now through her friendship with Diana. I think these two people are going to learn a lot from each other. I think it's going to be great.
But
Very true.
instead, she wishes her personality then changes, and then she gets electrified to death, right?
No, not dead. She's not dead. She's alive at the end.
You're right.
She renounced her wish as well.
So my point in bringing up the 80s vibe, by the way, just to go back to that, was like one of the things that I'm always worried about when they do these period pieces in the 80s, specifically 80s that we all sort of anecdotally know because they've come back into vogue here and there, is that there's such a thin line between it working with the narrative and working against the narrative. And in this, I do feel like it was distracting to have a lot of these 80s elements because I feel like it was written by people who are like, I remember the 80s, I think, right? Breakdancing, bright colors, politics. Those are the things we're going to do. Yeah, cool. Throw all those in there. And I think unlike Stranger Things, which was smartly set in the 80s because it adds to the sort of overall horror vibe to not have all this modern technology, I do think they underutilized the period a little bit.
And they really underutilized. Boom tam boom tam boom tam boom tam boom tam boom tam boom tam.
So dope.
Am I forgetting something? Like, was there a single 80s song in this?
There was a moment where they walk into the party and you hear the beginnings of an 80s song, but I can't remember which one it was.
Got it.
They sort of put those things
Wonder
in
Woman,
there,
1984.
Yeah. But it was interesting because they literally, even the title splash, I was like, oof, that's too much. That's like someone like went over to like Digital Juice or whatever and downloaded the 80s template. And you know what I mean? Or AE Juice, whatever it was.
Yeah.
It just didn't work.
Real quick aside, because I haven't done or talked to you guys all in 2 weeks or whatever. I had a nightmare during break that I saw Ghostbusters Afterlife, and it was awful. Like I had a full-fledged nightmare, like where I woke up and I was like, because like I remember it ended and they didn't use any of the Stranger Thing kids, all the stuff we've seen from the trailers they didn't use, and they didn't use Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd wasn't even in the movie. I was so fucking pissed.
I like that to anybody else that wouldn't be a nightmare, just be a normal like whatever dream.
Like Like to me, it would be cool because I'd be in the movie. I'd be like, well, it's not very good, but at least I'm in a Ghostbusters movie.
I've already lived that life. I've lived that in 2016, Nick. I don't need that. I don't need that reality again. Anyways, like, yeah, we brought up some points there too. One of the things about, Diana going back to her apartment was to show us that she's still hung up on Steve Trevor. We mentioned this way earlier, and she's totally lonely, and she's down in her luck. Barbara goes to work. Nobody likes her. Nobody cares. Even her boss can't remember her name. She runs into Diana. They drop a bunch of paperwork. She's wearing heels. Scientists don't wear heels. What do you got, me, Nick?
No, I was gonna say we skipped over a small scene, which I actually kind of thought was good until the waiter came, where she's sitting by herself eating dinner.
Yeah.
And she looks up
yeah.
into the sky and sees one of the planes, and then the waiter comes over. He's like, "Are you waiting for someone?" She goes, "No, it's just by myself." And then he proceeds to clear the table. I know this is totally gonna be a Nickism where none of you guys noticed this, but for me, the waiter starts clearing the table, and it takes him a half hour to fucking pull all the shit off of the other side. I'm like, we get it, dude. She's by herself. Like he could have just grabbed the glass and left, but they had the full placemat and all the 18 courses of silverware there. I was like, oh god, this is
follow up to that too. Is
in a nutshell.
She goes to hail the cab and the other guy hails it too, and then he's like, we could split it. She's like, no, because she's so closed off to the world. She won't love again because of Steve.
Which I'm like, I get that. I love it. It's comic booky, but it has been in fact 60 years, right?
Of living with people.
I think you're talking about superhero movies.
No. I mean, well, yeah, for sure. But I just mean like in the world of Wonder Woman, she has had a career. She has had hopefully friends. She's been around these people for 60 years. Yeah. At some point you think she'd be like, I'm over it. Like I'll always love this guy, but I've moved on from it. But I guess
her closest friends have died.
She's seen her friends get old and die, right?
I mean, we're in this, like, it makes sense. Actually, I guess in that regard, it does make sense because when I think about other movies like in that same ilk, you have like Highlander, right? And one of the reasons why he was closed off was because of that, because he knows he can't have friends because he's just going to watch them die. He can't have a love because every time he's fallen in love, he can't have kids and he just watches them age and then die in his arms. So he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. But for her, I'm like, I don't know, man. You got a pretty cool life.
She never really did it though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, don't get me wrong. Like, Steve was the first man she ever met. And so, like, great on her for falling in love and like having a great, week-long relationship with him. But then, yeah, he dies. She hadn't even fucking ice cream, in the first movie till she had the ice cream. So, like, then to be just out and about in the world for 60 years, you can't go back to Themyscira, right? Like, yeah, you'd have to make up some kind of thing. And like, she's hanging out with the woman from the first movie again from Shaun of the Dead. I can never remember her name. But like, yeah, she clearly is making relationships. She's she's having jobs. She takes Barbara out, and it doesn't strike me as like, oh man, like, what a weird. She really overcame social anxiety or some shit to do it. Whatever.
Right.
Great. Barbara gets trounced down. The boss doesn't remember her. The boss is like, hey, by the way, FBI's coming by today. They're both like, wait, FBI? Why? It turns out the jewelry store heist was not really a real heist. They were just there from stuff in the back. And so we need to look at some of the stuff. All right, fine. Then the Barbara Wonder Woman lunch happens. Or dinner, actually, I think, right? Late lunch or whatever. They go out to do their thing. They have a few Bartle and James or whatever. It's like Nick was saying, the whole thing's brought up of like, I'm not really the going out type. You seem like the type that would go out all the time. Yada, 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 yada. As Barbara's talking to Wonder Woman. And yeah, it's, grass is always greener situation, right? Where Barbara's this loving, caring, compassionate person. However, she's just, a nerd because of her glasses and her hair.
And she can't walk in heels.
Oh. Yeah.
And I can't walk in heels either.
Yeah, actually, and I guess I actually skipped a little bit ahead here.
Yeah, you can.
So like that, the FBI was coming later. Then I think we must have cut over to Pedro, right? That makes sense, right? To see what's up with Maxwell. Max is over there. Yeah, Max is over. Well, no, not yet, right? This is when we're I guess it is actually. You're right. Yeah. Maxwell Lord is introduced here, where he's right.
You're not saying anything.
Yeah,
so
I think he walks in and we see his opulent thing, and he's like, he's been searching for the stone, but then there's that asshole guy that's there. He's like,
no. I feel like I'm missing something. I'm missing. There's a connective tissue there.
You missed the part where they do the wishes, right? Where she's like, well, this stone is stupid, and like, why this stone's only worth $75?
We don't do that yet. No, there's something that happens between them having the thing. Let me pull it up. There's something that happens between. It doesn't fucking matter. Why? Don't bust my balls. Yeah. So
You're busting your balls. I'm not.
I know I am. Well, let's just get out of it. Let's get out of it. Anyways, that Maxwell Lord's fucking black gold thing. Yeah, he goes in there. His son's there. It's in disarray. There's all these empty desks. There's one receptionist running around while his son's there, and he forgot that it was his weekend.
one of the investors shows up and he just tears him a new one and says he's going to take this and yada, yada, yada. And he's not going to give him any more money. And then Maxwell's like, you know what? I have something big coming. It's going to be huge. You don't want to miss it. He's like, fuck you. You're a con man. And I'm not a con man. And he tells his son, I'm not a con man. And he's like, blah, blah, blah. And so then we go back. Yeah. And now the stuff has been delivered or whatever from the FBI. They're looking at it all there, Barbara and Diana. That's where they find the wishing stone. They pull that thing out. They're like, this is a weird little thing. And like, yeah, Barbara or Wonder Woman can read it because she has a passion for languages. It's Latin. She translates it there, hold the thing, make your wish. And Barbara's like, oh man, that's crazy. I'd have so many things to wish for. I don't know what I would do. And Wonder Woman holds it and closes her eyes and her hair goes, she's like, I do. And it's like, wow, you know what I mean? Fuck, it's Wonder Woman wish for Steve, of course. And back at her apartment, the clock Steve's watch starts clicking or whatever. Then Wonder Woman's trying to leave, but Barbara kind of opens up about being down on herself or whatever. So she's like, let's go to this dinner. They go to the dinner. Bartles and James wine coolers, like I was talking about earlier. They're there, like we said, everything just happened. That's great. I honestly thought this was a date. I was very excited. It felt like kind of a date. They were kind of like, I could see them, Barbara clearly infatuated, and feeling Diana as one would. And I was like, oh man, this would be a cool turn if they kind of introduced this as a love affair, stuff like that. It wasn't. It's just them becoming gal pals, just gals being pals.
Ow.
There's one thing about this scene that, by the way, I was like, it was unnerving to watch the entire time. The sheer volume of wind that was hitting the actresses' faces while they were having dinner on this patio. I was like, that doesn't seem comfortable. There's a moment where at the end of it, the camera dollies out and both of their hair just gets hit hard by a gust of wind. I'm like, go inside. This is not
the
fun.
wish wind, man. Diana just constantly in a wind now.
Just wishing all over the place.
Barbara walks home through the park. That's where our down and out congressman guy comes up. One of those, he's always there stumping for the nicotine. He decides to go after Barbara and says, hey, chick, you want to fucking get a kiss or whatever? And he's over there and he's trying to do it.
You like kisses?
She gets grabbed and she closes her eyes. And then Diana comes in and just kicks the shit out of him. Just throws him across the way. It's a real far kick into a trash can or whatever. And she's like, how'd you do that? Oh, it's very simple. It's all physics and simple self-defense. I can teach you that. And then she's like, just go home right now, though. And like, I was already fucking doing. Jesus. Rather than go home, Barbara goes to work, where she goes back to the thing, picks up the stone, wishes that she would be like Diana, powerful, strong, all the things that Diana is. Not knowing, of course, she's wishing to be Wonder Woman, but the stone knows. She falls asleep there. This is we wake up. She wakes up in the morning. Guess what? Her hair's down. She's hot, and she's like, you know what? I don't need pants anymore because I have this pink sweater on. So she pulls this pink sweater into a pink sweater dress, and everybody's like, wow, you're hot, Barbara. Oh, we missed the thing too where a guy wished for coffee and got coffee because he had this. Yeah, that was funny. I wonder what he lost for that.
What a waste! What a fucking waste!
He didn't know. I hope the stone was nice to him. Like, listen, we know you didn't really understand the rules, so it's
we're just gonna take $1.50 out of your pocket and call it even.
I'm gonna take your site for 15 minutes. All right,
Okay.
We'll learn how the rules work. All right.
That's horrifying, though.
Hey, I didn't say it was gonna be like easy, but whatever. Anyways, she walks out and she's hot now, and of course nothing's changed. She's still Kristen Wiig, who's beautiful.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't even try. They didn't even try to like make her look different. Suddenly, it was just that everyone was obsessed with her. And it's just,
totally.
The effort in this movie is so low on everything.
Yeah.
It's the confidence that you have inside, though, Kevin.
Yes,
like if you carry yourself differently.
No, it's not, though. It's just magic. Like, she now has that seductive magic in her,
Every once in a while when I walk around, Kevin, I try to am I a half an inch taller here? Like, I try to kind of, straighten out the neck, straighten out the back. And I think it does add inches. Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've walked into a Comic-Con party and just chanted to myself, 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet, or 6 feet, 6 feet, right? You just got to have that.
You walk around and
you have to have that Tim Gettys 6'1" confidence when you walk around parties.
Mm-hmm.
6 foot.
I'm 6 feet.
Yeah.
It's whatever. See, I don't even know.
Tall is tall, Tim. Tall is tall. Shorties don't like it.
Don't make fun of it. Yeah. Stay in your lane, Tolly.
God, this again.
Don't even bother crouching down to listen to what they have to say. All right, these hobbits got to enjoy you.
How dare you? How dare you?
So she walks out. The boss is back, remembers her name, and she has Maxwell Lord with her, who's going to be this huge donor. So he needs a private tour, the entire fucking thing. They spend the day together wandering around. Max only is interested in the stone, right, but still can't exactly get to it. However, there's going to be this big party. Oh, Diana shows up. She doesn't trust Maxwell Lord, of course. She's like, something's not right about you. She doesn't own a TV too. I thought this was kind of funny. I was just like, I don't know. I don't own a TV. You call this guy and I can get you TV. She's like, no, I'll stick with the one I don't have or whatever.
Yeah, I like that line.
And so it's like, yeah, there's this party. I don't do parties. I'm Diana and I'm closed off to the world because, my boyfriend died. Okay, great, whatever. And so they're like, oh, I'm going to go to the party. See you later. Because Max is like, that's when I can get the stone, even though it's right in there. I can just ask to go in your office, but whatever. I'll do it under the cover of nightfall. So he bounces. Barbara is kind of all like, ooh. And then Wonder Woman finds in the box where the stone was, Max, a receipt that no one thought, FBI. The fucking FBI didn't think to lift any of this shit in the boxes. Underneath the fucking crate paper is a little card or a receipt that says Maxwell Lord on it. Like, oh, fuck. Oh, why didn't I think of this? So Diana's like, shit, now I do need to go to this party. Meanwhile, Kristen Wiig goes and gets a dress, and it's just a skin tight dress. And the woman's like, oh my God, you're killing this dress or whatever. And she's like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to be fine about it now. And she goes to the party.
We really just needed, we needed the 80s montage there. I know we get one for Chris Pine. Yeah. But we really what I immediately thought of, Greg, and you'll understand the analogy, probably only you, is the scene in Family Guy where they're like, let's do the 80s dressing up montage. And you'll walk out with new stuff. And for the first couple times, we'll go like this. We'll shake our heads no. But then you'll come out and we'll go, that's the one. And it's like, you have to have the shitty music. And we just didn't get that with Kristen Wiig, unfortunately.
No, you didn't. It's a missed opportunity, sadly. She goes to the museum benefactor party, though. Everything, she's gorgeous, and they're looking at her and talking to her. Pedro Pascal comes up, he's talking to her, and they're macking on her. And then Diana shows up, and she looks spectacular too. And then she's trying to find Pedro, and he's always one step ahead. He's always one staircase away. You know what I mean? Blah blah blah. And so, sorry. Somebody?
I was going to say, I do want to give a shout out to Diana's costumes in this. Whoever did the costume design specifically for just Gal Gadot fucking nailed it. They dressed her perfectly in this.
And that's again where I feel like, we said earlier, and it's true, that we don't see the Wonder Woman outfit again till the hour and 20 mark or whatever. And it's like, well, she's in the whole movie, but again, I just don't feel like Diana Prince is an established enough character where it's like we care about her exploits at the Smithsonian and what she's doing in her secret identity, that it would matter. I don't know. It's a weird thing.
Well, no, it becomes that problem of it's. I thought it was kind of fun watching her and Steve Trevor try to figure out this mystery and stuff like that. But unfortunately, you're always in the back of your mind. You're like, it'd be way cooler if I saw her lift a tank. Like there's just cooler stuff. She's going to do eventually.
And that's the thing is, Andy, I want to get to you 1 second. Don't worry. I feel like that. I understand why they do it, because it's such a long run to see her do Wonder Woman-y stuff in the Wonder Woman costume. So you give the mall scene to, hey, here's Wonder Woman. You're getting what you paid for right away. I would have rather it been, here is Diana's normal life for, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes or whatever. And then something happens and she has to be Wonder Woman for a second. And we see the stakes start raising rather than this hodgepodge all over the map of where we're going with the plot.
And it's not like, they were obviously doing a lot of odd nods to Donner's Superman as well. And so one has to imagine, they had that scene, that wonderful, perfect scene where they introduced Superman for the first time, where the helicopter's falling off the thing. Like, you could have had a scene like that where she saved Barbara as Wonder Woman, and then that made her think, oh, I want to be like that, instead of being like Diana Prince. But
Andy, you had something to say? Sorry.
Tim got cut off, so I was just kind of wanted to. Tim was going to say something, but his voice got garbled and jarbled,
Thanks for looking out, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, she's looking around the party. Maxwell Lord and Barbara go to her office to make out a bit, at which point Max takes the stone. Diana loses track of is on track from the crowd, but gets approached by a strange man who starts saying Steve Trevor's final lines, and then the camera spins around, and guess what? It is Steve Trevor. Oh my God, they're reunited. It's amazing. Like I said, Maxwell takes the stone downstairs. He gets the stone, and then immediately wishes to become the stone.
He takes it back to his office.
Yeah. He takes it back to the office and wishes to become the stone. The stone turns into things. Does one of his many O faces in this thing, and fucking things are swirling and great. We then cut back to, I think it's in front of the Washington Monument, right? Maybe the Lincoln Memorial, which is the same thing, the reflecting pool. And Diana are walking, catching up. What's the last thing you remember? Yada, yada, yada. Okay. Yeah, these questions are pretty
all right. But then Steve's like, yeah, I woke up in this guy's apartment. Like, wait, what? And then it's like, that's a weird thing to do, but we'll get back to that, I guess. And then, yeah, we cut away. And yeah, hold on, Nick.
Am I the only person that was like, wait a minute, where'd the guy go? Don't you feel bad for the guy?
And that's the whole thing. We're going to go to it right now. We're going to go to it right now, where Steve brings her into this man's apartment. And it is revealed to us when he looks in the mirror that he is not Steve Trevor. He is, in fact, this man. He has taken over this man's life and body. And Wonder Woman sees him as Steve Trevor, but everybody else sees him as, we're going to call him Bob. Everybody else sees him as Bob.
Wasn't that revealed earlier?
Yeah, that was revealed earlier.
When
we first see him
with the camera.
Yeah, when they spin
No. That was revealed. But like, if you're a viewer at home, you could easily be like, oh, cool, he just turned into Steve Trevor. When we get to the man's apartment is when Steve looks in the mirror and we find out, no. This isn't that kind of magic. We didn't just make Steve's body. We didn't make Steve into this person. He didn't just he is this man still. He is still. Right. It's like if all of a sudden, Steve Trevor was in my body. My life's completely on hold. You're taking over my entire apartment. You're sleeping with me.
You're eating all my Pop-Tarts.
You're eating all my Pop-Tarts. They're making fun of it.
It's equally problematic. It is like it's such a bizarre choice that I don't understand how ever would have get approved. But let alone in 2020, like how the fuck are you going to be like? All right, man. Yeah, this man now has no consent over any action.
And that was the thing. So many people talked about this. There's been so many, think pieces and tweets and stuff about this of like, this is rape on the fact that they just immediately jump into bed with each other. But it's also just the fact that like Wonder Woman and Steve, who is a war hero and a hero. We've seen that the character of him from Wonder Woman. They walk into this man's apartment and like play it for laughs and joke about the bike and all this other shit. And he's like, oh yeah, it's kind of a mess. And like, what about this man's family and friends and job? And yeah, like this for me, like, and I know plot points and picking it apart. Yeah, this was a huge, like, I was watching this and it's what I said very, very early ago in this long review we're doing, right? Of like, I feel like, okay, I'm watching it. I'm like, this must be part of the magic. The magic that there is making them not themselves to the point that they can ignore these kind of things. God. And it wasn't. It was just the fact that she was so excited to see Steve. Right. And he was so excited to see her. They didn't care that they destroyed a man's life. Like, that was fucked up.
It's unfortunate because when you start peeling back those layers, you start going like, wow, that makes these characters a little less likable. That she would just, I mean, this is Diana Prince. This is Wonder Woman. Her first thought, I mean, granted, yeah, you haven't seen this guy in 60 years. You've been pining after him to the point where you can't even.
Pining.
That was
me and Nick both coming up with like things that we didn't mean to do.
did not mean to do that.
Good job on being honest,
it does make you think at a certain point she should have, like, at no point in the movie, and correct me if I'm wrong, does she think, wow, we really got to return this guy back to his life. That is not any of her concern. Her concern is like, I got to give Steve back because if I don't, the world will end.
Can you imagine if it was my life that was taken over and if you just one day saw Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman walking around with me in the street and be like, what the fuck? But to her, she sees Chris Pine. Yeah. Like, now, what is going on here?
So
to be fair, at that point, if we all got to be your trustees, I'd be like, Andy would want it this way. Just leave it be.
Exactly. Dude.
Andy doesn't want to come back.
Dude, what a sweet relief. What a sweet
Andy
relief that would be.
This guy's not Twitch streaming and he's in a happy relationship. Just let it be.
To just one day wake up and not have an existence anymore. And like, suddenly I'm just with Gal Gadot and I don't know it. And then like, I'll come back to my body and be like, I don't know what happened the past 2 weeks. What did I do, guys? Like, you dated Gal Gadot. It was crazy.
You ate a lot of salad. It worked out, too. It was really good. You slept normal hours. You really had a schedule. It was great. You
ate vegetables?
Yeah, it's weird.
I just wanted to say, like, I got the feeling that Gal Gadot, she isn't hit by the magic where she sees Steve Trevor. I just got the feeling that, like, that's kind of what she felt, that it was Steve Trevor.
Yeah,
and it wasn't. So she could see that it was some other dude, which I feel like makes it 10 times worse. Because now every time she looks at him, she's like, "Oh, yep, that's Steve." But like that also is a man who had a life that I guess doesn't anymore.
Yeah,
I don't buy it. I think she saw Steve. I think
she saw Steve. No, I think she saw Steve.
I think it's supposed to be like,
because she says it.
I want to see you. sort of thing. Yeah, all I
Right.
see is you. She goes, he's like, this guy's pretty okay. She goes, all I see is you.
Yep.
I think it's just that's what they want to do.
Yeah, they make fun of him being a bit
matter.
fat too. It's like, Jesus, guys. Like, again, like, where is the the kiss and then break away of like, we can't do this. Like, we need to figure it. Like, and think about
that's for like a more
again, be in
complex
the
movie.
fucking writer's room for 10 seconds and think about how easy this is to explain away, Nick. Oh man, she's gonna take over this guy's body in his house. Oh, that seems kind of weird, doesn't it? Yeah. What
Are
other
they gonna
80s
fuck in his
film?
bed? Are they
What
gonna
other
bang?
80s
Are they gonna
film
fuck
could
with
we
his
do?
penis?
Yeah.
Or what other
You know?
80s film or like could we do that kind of? Oh, you know what, guys? We're dressing him like a fucking model. Why not just ape mannequin? Why
Yeah,
not
let's
just
just
have
ape
him be a
mannequin.
mannequin in fucking TJ Maxx that walks off all of a sudden? That'd be
But
fucking
also-
funny and like interesting. And then it would make sense when Pedro Pascal's like, "Oh, you want to be a real boy? Is that your wish?" It's jeez.
You know, but what's funny is like I would have this was totally fine for me, but I thought there was going to be a resolution to this. I thought they were at some point going to be like, hey, this is wrong what we're doing. This guy had a life, but they never get back
Instead,
to
we
that,
get the guy at
which-
the fucking Christmas tree. Like, it's all just so wonderful. I
Yeah.
have no job, and I blacked out for 3 weeks.
I'll tell you what, man.
You think
I
he
was
got
going through
fired?
Crazy shit.
It was the 80s, man.
Yeah, I know,
It was the
right?
80s.
Yeah,
Who
I
knows?
don't know.
Who knows?
But you have to imagine that at some point one of the writers was like, or we could just have Steve come back. Or she could just turn. She could be walking down the street and look over and see Steve Trevor in his World War I pilot outfit. Be like, Diana? And
Why
that
wouldn't
would've
they
just
do
solved
that? That would have been so
everything.
much better.
I would, because of course, then he wouldn't have an apartment, guys. Where would they go?
She has an
Diana's apartment.
though.
Oh
Where are they
my
gonna
God,
buy?
you're right. And they took so long to
Oh.
establish that. Fuck, we forgot
She
we did
has
that
an
in the front for no
amazing,
fucking reason.
penthouse
Oh,
unit that he could have been
shit.
like, holy shit, what? And they could have done every single thing there. He could have walked in it. She
Wow.
could have woken up in the morning and he could have been in the
Wow.
kitchen being like, this machine is amazing. And it's a coffee maker. Or like, have you tried these things? And they're Pop-Tarts. Like all of these scenes could have been fine instead of having them be in this guy's fucking twin bed with his mahogany wallpaper that he's got
Mahogany.
behind him. It was weird.
I think for me, when we're everything we're talking about now, we just spent the last 10 minutes talking about the problem of the main wish of this movie, right? I think that the wish is the gimmick of this movie. It's the thing that makes it unique. Being in the 80s isn't unique for a movie. We've seen that a million times, right? Being a superhero movie is
I
not
lived it.
unique. But this bit of these characters, good guys and bad guys and normal people, get wishes. Like that's the gimmick. And
It's like
every
Shazam.
single time they do it, it's bad. Like every single time, it's like it's either they overcomplicate it, like the Diana Prince situation, or completely just throw so much shit in a blender like they do at the end where everyone gets wishes and it's just fucking chaos happening on top of each other where it's like this if you just focused on a couple people having wishes here and there and added some layers of complexity that it all added up, this could be fucking phenomenal. But instead it's just noise and you can tell that they're like, oh man, we need to really like add more to Diana's wish to make it seem like it's more like interesting than it actually is, because it should have just been he's fucking here.
Yeah.
This is
He's
great.
here.
Yeah.
He's
And
just
she
back.
lets him go.
It's magic.
I would love it if in the writers room they're like, you know, what if he was a father of 4? Like, no, we don't need. We don't need a conflict.
Dude,
And Steve's got
gotta-
Steve's a brain surgeon. He has to do this operation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's that scene from Spies Like Us where they're just like dipping below the table to read about brain surgery and then they come back.
Yeah, pop it back up.
Could you imagine if they wrote that scene where his kids are like, Dad? And he's like, I don't know who the fuck you are, kids.
Walks past them.
Just
It's
walk
like fucking
past.
Shallow Hal. He just blows right by the people he loves. He doesn't even acknowledge them.
Didn't he
Anyways,
have- Wait, sorry, one quick question. Didn't he have moments where he was like remembering that dude's life?
I don't recall that.
I
No.
could have sworn there was a line where he was like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So yeah, this is also so she's like, okay, cool. We've got to stop Max Lord. He knows something about this. It's the the tie into the thing or whatever. She's like, we got to get that stone #1 and find out more about that thing. This is where they get the montage of them dressing him in a bunch of different outfits, which I thought was flat. It should have been more fun than I thought it was, but it went on too long as like everything else in this movie and just wasn't that enjoyable. I know Tim will have something to say about it. Tim, before we get out of this, I was just saying how I thought the montage of dressing Steve was flat and could have been funny, but this wasn't.
Absolutely agree.
You're right, good. However, they finally picking out
Because if
for him.
not,
Yeah. Thank you for waiting for my say on that.
I know that's something
I
you'd want to
appreciate it.
comment
No,
on. I know
no,
that's a
totally.
Tim fashion over function thing.
No, it is. It's just like that to me. It's I don't want to do the whole like, oh, we saw it in the trailer and like all the funny parts of the trailer, but it's like it really was for this, where it's like all the jokes that kind of did work, like we've seen before, and there's nothing additive. And in fact, I think that seeing the scene of Barbara and Diana having the lunch or dinner or whatever the hell it was. In the trailer, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be great. And then you see in the movie, you're like, oh, that kind of fucking sucked. And then the same thing with the montage scene or like all the jokes of Steve Trevor. It's like, oh, they're gonna add some really great stuff. And it's like the jokes that were funny in the trailer fall flat for me every single
The
time.
trash can, right? Yeah, the trash can was a funny one in the trailer, but like by the time we see it in the movie, like, all right. And so that's the thing, because like they leave in the outfit, they walk around, she's introducing him to the 80s and all these different things or whatever. Trash can is just a trash can, but then he sees the space shuttle on the side of the Smithsonian, right? Or National Air Museum. Which one is it, Kev?
I think the Smithsonian.
You're right, because that's where they're going.
Yeah, it could be wrong.
Oh yeah, right. And so she sees it there, and he's like, "Is that a plane?" So she takes him on a tour here, and let me tell you, to all my division players, right, man, the Division 2 players, I when they walked in there, I was like, "Fuck." They nailed this. Massive fucking nailed the Smithsonian on the inside, because I've shot. I literally said I've killed so many people in this place.
Yeah.
Nobody thought that was funny. So she tours around there and shows them some shit, and then they eventually make their way down to their department where Barbara is just, and everyone's enraptured with her, and she's up there giving a funny little lesson and talking, and everybody's hanging on her every word. Kristen Wiig killing it. And then they walk in, and it's like, hey, we need the stone. She's like, oh, oops, I don't actually have the stone anymore. I think also Barbara went and worked out, and she's super strong. I don't have the stone anymore. Gave it to Maxwell Lord, and Diana's like, why would you do that? Blah blah blah. She's like, I just did. I don't know. You know, I just did. It's what it was. How it's got to be. Whatever.
But didn't he steal it? So why is she covering for her? That's weird, right?
He had said that he wanted it, right? Then they started making out, and he was like, I'm just going to take it. And he took it and put it behind his back like he was stealing it. But I guess it's a pretty big thing to get out of there, not letting her know it. So, like, whatever.
I guess you're right. He was like, I have friends that can identify it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's whatever. Who cares? And on this list of cinema sins, I'm not making that too high. Meanwhile, with Maxwell Lord, he goes back to that old guy who took out all the money, and he's like, "You're right. I was lying. I was doing all this yada yada. Don't you wish it was a success?" And like, "Yeah, of course I wish it was a success." And then Max's like, "Well, I take all yours and blah 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 blah." Yeah, Nick.
So this was the first part where we're introduced to the idea that if you wish for something, the stone takes something from
Monkey's
you.
paw. Yeah.
Right. Which I was like, that's an interesting concept. But then Maxwell takes like whatever he wants, multiple things, and gets multiple wishes. Like, am I crazy in thinking?
So he makes the decision on what it's taking.
Sure, but shouldn't it be 1-to-1? Like you get, if I'm not mistaken, the rules of this world are you get one wish, and they take the one thing that's the most important thing away from you. Right? That's kind of what they talked about. But he gets to go. He goes, I'll take all your shares, and you're going to be out of my way through something that's not going to happen, right? And then later when he he just is taking whatever he wants from these people, which is, I guess, fine. But at the same time, like, I thought you only got one wish, and then we're going to see in the third act where she gets another wish. Like, no. Kristen Wiig gets another wish.
No, that's not what happens.
Yeah,
if you remember what happens is he's like, "What? I'm being generous. What do you want?" She went, "I want to be an apex predator." Yada yada yada. That's her telling him what she wants, and then when he does everybody's giving their wishes. He's like, all right, fine. And I'll take your health and give her your power. And he's giving Barbara stuff from the people he's getting.
Oh, okay.
It's I was in the same boat of you until I did a quick rewind of like, wait, what's going on? Oh, okay.
If this shit was like any reality to it, he would have turned into a rock. He would have turned into, right, when he wished for it, the counter wish, instead of it taking his health over time, is he would have become the Rock and like been in the middle of it, like fucking under a microscope.
What's the phrase from Aladdin where he's like, grand power, itty bitty living space?
Yep, there it is.
That concept, that would have been it.
So then he leaves, and whatever it is, the SEC or whoever busts in, FBI, they bust in, they're gonna take down that dude, and he's like, all right, it works. There was another scene here
played perfectly by Pedro Pascal, where he's like, this is the FBI, we need someone, and Pedro Pascal goes, are we in danger? Like, no, sir, we're just here for tax evasion. He's like, oh my word, I thought Pedro Pascal, give him the Academy Award.
We're mashing a bunch of stuff up, but then he goes back to his the black gold place, and the receptionist there, and she's not there, and he's all mad, and she's upstairs answering a million different phone calls because everybody's calling because they heard about this windfall of oil and money the place has got, and they all want to be a part of it. And he's like, well, do you wish for more help? She wishes for more help. People just start showing up, and he's getting their wishes and putting them on phones and yada yada. Black gold is off to the races, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin, you're shaking your head in disgust.
It's just so dumb that, like, is this the unemployment thing? We're looking for jobs is what ended up happening. You know?
I love it. I
You
love all
love
this
it.
stuff. I think it's fun and silly
Yeah.
and kind of clever in that he has to get other people unbeknownst to them to wish
What
for the
is
things that he
clever
wants.
about this? Like, I
It's
just
just I think it's just a different a way to get around the you only have 3 wishes trope that I thought was interesting. I'm like, that is actually an interesting way to do it. Instead of you wishing for more wishes, you become the thing that grants wishes, but you have to con everyone else into doing these things. And then it's sinister because they don't know it's happening, and B, you're taking something from them unbeknownst to them. So it's like it's this violation that happens that I just feel like it just degrades his soul. And then when he sees his kid and he realizes like he's trying to convince his kid he's doing it all for his kid, and his kid's like, I don't want any of this. I just want my dad to be present in my life, and I don't care if you're a big man. That doesn't matter to me. It's just I think there's some layers to it that
I'm with
I
Nick.
feel like-
Every time those moments happened, I enjoyed them. Like I love the people walking in like, oh hey, I'm looking for a job. Like, yeah, you're hired. Like I love that. Yeah, he is kind of getting these people to wish for stuff so that he can get what he wants or whatever. Even with, like, hey, how's traffic today? Oh, traffic sucks. Wouldn't you wish that traffic was super easy and it opened up like the Red Sea? Yeah, of course I do. I do wish that. And then like I just love that all those moments happen. It's cheesy, but I that's a little part of the enjoyment I had watching this movie.
I'm honestly right there with you guys, where I think it's one of the, when I said there's a lot of good ideas in this film. I think it's a good idea, and I think on these little things it works. But it is that fact of I don't think magic's explained well enough in the universe, let alone the rules of this. And then when you do get to now, I'm gonna have the world give me wishes. I mean, yes, it descends into chaos, but it also just doesn't make sense because we see it on such a small scale. Where the guy's like, I wish you died. And she's like, I wish all the Irish people got rounded up. And it starts happening, right? You're going to tell me some white supremacist doesn't see this and he's like, I wish all minorities were gone. And like, we don't see these things like blinking in and out. So it is I wish I was king. I wish I had $1 million. I wish I was famous. Like, expand it to millions of crazy ass wishes.
I don't think you need to see that because I think the thing that they were trying to establish was like the big threat is obviously like the superpowers from America and Russia wishing for more nuclear arms and seeing
I
that
just don't
escalate.
think like that. We said earlier in this review talking about it of like, oh, and like the Cold War and all that stuff. Like, I don't feel like that's well done at all. I feel like that's an afterthought. And I was like, oh, we're gonna have an 80s thing that's not about that. And then it's like we get a brief mention of it, and then it becomes this giant thing of like that's what's gonna. And it's like, okay, like. I think the fucking dangerous wishing is way worse than this, and we weren't doing this. And I fucking hate, by the way, while we're here, anytime you're gonna go see the fucking president, we're gonna go see the president, and they do the whole thing, and you open the door. That fucking president better be an amazing cameo. And if it's not an amazing cameo, I want it to be somebody acting like fucking Ronald Reagan.
Yeah,
I don't want it to just be some
that
general ass white guy. Okay, great. I mean, what if they open it as Martin Sheen? I mean, fuck.
That would have been
right,
amazing.
that's dope.
Rob,
You know what I mean?
Rob Lowe comes in and he's like, "Hello."
Oh my god, Toby's there.
No, but actually, here's a real question for you. What was the thing that the stone took from him?
From Pedro Pascal?
Yeah.
His
Health.
health. Yeah, he was gonna die.
Oh, okay. So that was what was taken from him because
Yeah, his
I
eye
thought
kept breaking. He had all that weird shit on his face.
I thought
That's why
one
he was
of
gonna.
what a
okay, because I thought one of the interesting things that they should have explored was when he made that wish, it took away his humanity or whatever it was. Like, you know how Barbara Nerve, like it takes away her like love of other people and her kindness or whatever it is.
But did
I never got. I mean, yeah, it did. I mean, she becomes kind of a unempathetic
like,
human being. You know,
wasn't that because she was
kills forever.
fucking cool and everyone was giving her attention? Not necessarily
I mean,
because
that
something
might
was
have been-
taken from her.
No, I think we got the fact that she just didn't have any empathy left. Like she didn't have the one thing that made her endearing to Diana, which was that she was a sweet person. But I thought the Pedro Pascal stuff was interesting because I was like, oh, I wish that had tied in a little bit more with his kind of redemption arc, or the reason why he decides to go backward is that he lost the one, like his son.
Yeah,
I wish
his
they
son
would
should
have
have
taken his
faded
son
away
out
or
of
something,
it.
right? Yeah.
And that was the thing it took from him. And he realized, holy shit, like this whole thing that I've been doing for this son has really been for me. And my son's gone now, and he should have been the most important thing. But they didn't.
So yeah, all the stuff's happening. There's a million things going on. Is it important, Kev? I feel like we're.
I mean, I was
we're
just
in a
gonna
lot
say
here.
this whole movie, like everything is show not tell, or tell not show. They just don't develop these things. Like what Nick's saying, like sounds like a cool concept. I just feel like the way they execute everything is just in the worst way. That's all.
Cool. So yeah, now they have a bunch of work and it's all popping off and it's all going crazy there. Steve and Diana know they have to go to Black Gold. They go to Black Gold. This is when they sneak into Black Gold and everybody's, making $1 million deals, whatever. And they sneak into his original office and there's fucking dust everywhere from the rock exploding. And then they pick up the thing. Oh, it's old god magic. This is really fucking bad. We got to find him. Where did he go? Well, he wants more of everything. and they have the magazine about the new king of crude over in Egypt or whatever, and that's where he went. They find a ticket in the trash. Well, that's for today. He's going to fucking Egypt today.
That was weird because I was like, how did you get on the plane if you threw the ticket away?
Doesn't matter. Well, he wished it. You know what I mean?
Tickets you just throw away in the 80s. I don't know. Also,
remember.
she does call Barbara and say, we need to figure out where the stone came from ASAP. And then we get a scene of Barbara looking through the microfiche with fish, which I always thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
The guy's like coffee, tea, meat, which was a line from freaking Working Girl, which they totally stole from this movie.
And then she gets all mad because she's not going to be pushed around anymore. And while we're here, she goes outside, and that's when she fucks up the fucking booze hound Congress or whatever.
She goes outside first, and every guy apparently in Washington, D.C. in the 80s, past 10 o'clock, there were just, if you were a dude, you had to go out and just drink a lot and just harass women. This is what you did. Because everyone she comes in contact with is just a piece of total utter shit. And I get that they're hammering home the theme of her, like, this is why we're supposed to feel for her when she kicks this guy down the street. And to be fair, it works because I was like, kick that motherfucker one more time. Kick his ribs in. But then of course she gets the nice homeless man who's like, "What, Barbara? What's going on? What? This isn't you." And she's like, "Well, you don't fucking know me because you're
Mind your
just here for 30 seconds a day, motherfucker. When I give you food," and then she just runs off in her cool Nikes.
Meanwhile, Diana and Steve are like, he's gone to Egypt on this plane. And Steve goes, "You guys have planes that can go to Egypt in one flight?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "That's awesome. I gotta fly one of those." And she's like, "Come on, we're gonna go do this." "Oh, but you don't have a passport, so you can't get on a regular plane. I know what we'll do." And so they go to the Smithsonian, back to the Smithsonian, and they sneak on to the runway of the Smithsonian. They sneak into all the planes that they keep gassed up, ready to fly at any point. And then they take Chris Pine, Steve Trevor, a man who flew in World War I and died in a plane. They put him into the fighter jet, and he goes, "Wow, this is a very complicated machine, but I can figure it out. Which one's the headlights?" And hits a bunch of switches. And then he's like, "Wait, now I got it. There's about 350% more fucking switches and dials in this thing that could easily kill me again or other people I could run into." Diana, we don't know you're weak yet, but I know something's going on. It doesn't matter. I'm in here. I can fly this thing. Now, as if that wasn't fucking crazy enough, Kevin, I know science with Kevin doesn't exactly apply here, but are fighter jets known for their long distance flying, say a transatlantic flight to fucking Egypt from Washington, D.C.?
No.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Aren't fighter jets known for
fast.
having such a small fucking range? They need a giant fucking boat to fly them boat them anywhere to then fly somewhere?
Yeah.
We all
Doesn't matter to this. Doesn't matter in this fucking movie because they're like, gas it up. Is it gassed up? Who fucking knows? Flips all the switches.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't she also? And you said they snuck into the Smithsonian to steal a jet. Didn't she flash her credentials at the door when she walks in? She was like,
probably
open the door for her.
Maybe she's Diana Prince.
Shows them to a camera, and she's like, "Hey, I'm coming in to steal one of these planes." The guy's like, "Whatever the fuck you want, man." It doesn't matter.
So now we're in a fucking jet that Steve Trevor is just such an amazing pilot. He can figure out all this future technology. Guy didn't know what a fucking trash can was 30 minutes ago. You know what I mean? He didn't understand that a stationary bike doesn't fucking move, but a plane's a plane. You know what I mean? Plane's a fucking plane. You need me to use the space shuttle you just showed me? I can get that fucking running too. They climb in, they fucking take off, they get going. The air traffic control is freaking out, of course, that a fucking pilot or a fighter jet's been stolen. Diana's like, away. Oh. Steve's like, "Don't worry, I'll just turn off the lights. They'll never find me." And they're like, "No, I forgot to tell you about radar. Radar's a thing. They can track you even in the dark." He's like, "Fuck, what are we going to do?" And she's like, "You know what?" She's like, "You know what? I've been toying around with this thing. I've wondered how my father," which I remember, of course, is Zeus. We probably should have driven this home and maybe given you a refresher that I'm a demigod. No big deal. Anyways, he hides Themyscira from everybody. How did he do that? I've been able to hide a coffee cup, she says, or something like that. And she goes, boom, and makes the invisible jet.
Fuck off.
Which again, I was like, everything we've just talked about, I fucking hate. Everything we just talked about, and including the coffee cup. Boom. Once it was the invisible jet, I was like, for that 1 second, I gave myself the reprieve, like, that was cool. They got the invisible jet into this. Dude, and then immediately back to garbage as they fly through fireworks. Like
fly through fucking fireworks. Like that seems so dangerous, but I just hate that it's like, okay, we're getting the invisible jet. This should be hype as fuck. And it is not. It is so lame. And it's like, it was set up via lines of dialogue at the moment they do the thing. It's not like they set that up earlier. Like this wasn't a reveal. This was the cause and effect happened at the exact same fucking moment. Like that is so fucking lame. They do it again later.
Very, very.
I
lame.
I like the fireworks scene. It works.
I like the fireworks.
Well, you know why I mean, maybe I'm projecting, but the reason I like the fireworks scene, right, is because I'm going through and I'm like, oh, this reminds me so much of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 at the end for Yondu. And it's like that thing of like, oh
God.
man, what a great movie that was. And what a great payoff to characters and building that was. And what a great thing of explaining complete nonsense, space and aliens and all this, but making it believable and real. Unlike anything, this movie, I'm like, how are you flying a fighter jet to Egypt? How did you make a comment? How did he make a fucking comment not 5 minutes before of like, man, you guys got planes that are big enough to fly there? And she's like, yeah, come get on an incredibly small one that we will be lucky to get to where the Titanic sank. You know what I mean? We're coast our asses there, let alone steal the fucking Concorde. And even then, I'm not sure if it's got rain. Was the Concorde
Egypt.
around in the 84?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was around in 84.
But it
It's
didn't go to Egypt from New York or where's
It just flew really
Pennsylvania?
fast, but I'm sure it could have made the flight.
But that's the thing. At least it would have gotten you
not.
there quick. I don't know.
The Concorde was an international plane. Yeah.
Yeah, but
it
it
was.
went from the UK to New York, right? Like that's a very specific route where Egypt is significantly further down.
Well, you at some point
Hey, I'm just saying. All I'm saying, Kevin, is I would have bought that more. I would have been able to suspend my disbelief more if it was that.
Absolutely.
Because again, to be very fucking clear, we don't see them land the jet in Egypt. We don't see what they fuck. They're just in a car. They're in a cab in Egypt now driving. It's clearly in a movie so bloated that you're like, there's nothing they left on the cutting room floor. Clearly something happened there between jet and car. And even when Steve's like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. He's like, you keep saying you're fine. You don't look fine. What happened there? It doesn't fucking matter. Because even before that scene, we're in Egypt and Pedro Pascal shows up and he walks over to the new king of crude and he's like, hey, you know what? I'm here to meet you. He's like, I don't even fucking care. This isn't a business deal. I just want to know how you did this, how you made your money so quickly. And he's like, I'll tell you, I found the power of the wish. And so he's like, what do you wish for? And like, again, Youssef, our friend from Ubisoft, put up a link the other day to when he watched the movie, he immediately tweeted of like, this is offensive to me as an Egyptian, you know what I mean, as a person of color, of like, this is such a stereotype of what people are doing, of saying like, oh, look at these people in Egypt that are brown. They're the bad guys. They're crazy. He put up a post that I encourage everybody to go read, that it was somebody else that he linked, that was like describing how inaccurate this is and how in a movie so steeped in the 80s, trying to be an 80s film, they went into something like Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? And grabbed the completely bullshit stereotypes, racial stereotypes, and put it into this movie thinking it would, and it's just whatever. Because they show up for one scene. What is your wish? I wish all of the fucking heathens would get out of my land and I was the king and there was a wall that separated everybody. And he's like, wish granted, I'm going to take your oil. And he's like, I already fucking sold my oil. And he's like, well, then fuck you. I'm taking your security team. They're going to come be with me now. And they fucking walk out and he's like, what? And this giant fucking wall goes up and CNN's reporting that they found new documents or whatever, that he's now the king of the area, Egypt, whatever country it is, the land, and how poor people can't get to the water anymore. And there's obviously a bunch of unforeseen consequences to a giant wall going up around everything. And again, this is when I'm like, oh, clearly the final wish of this movie will be to undo everything.
Redo all this.
We're like, they're not going to leave this or bring down. They're going to bring down the wall, sure, but then there's going to be these fucking giant gaps.
Because this, if not, the end of this movie is the beginning of Endgame, where the fucking world is just destroyed.
Right, we never dig out. We never dig out of this, right?
Get out of this. Yeah, there's a giant. That wall alone would take like half a fucking year to just take down that whole thing.
Anyways, we get. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but I love this next scene, right, where through sheer happenstance and coincidence, they just. I mean, Egypt.
That
Kevin,
was them.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin. Egypt, one road, right? Not a very big country.
Yeah, it goes run by the Nile, so it's just one road.
So just one road. They just happen to find they just drive by this caravan of people. I'm like, oh God, this is how we're gonna start the action scene. And sure enough, that's how we start the action scene.
And sure enough, yeah, that was them. Can we buy your car? Gives them a wad of American cash that looks to be about $25. And he's like, yeah, sure, no problem. Take the car. And so they take off. Go ahead, Nick. Sorry,
it's like that. It's like that scene from Eurotrip where he's like, I buy my own hotel now. Like the nickel. This scene is just so awkwardly weird. And then this action scene starts, and this is where we get the effects that I'm like, wow, did they A, run out of budget, or B, run out of time? And I have to imagine the answer to both of those is no. They had a lot more budget than they could have used, and they had plenty of time to fix the CG, because as a lot of people pointed out, this movie got delayed 1,800 times, to the point where I'm like, what? I don't know. I just feel like when we finally do see Wonder Woman again after an hour and 20 minutes, this scene is just lackluster, and it doesn't even need to happen because why would he immediately think they're coming after to kill him? Does he even know who Diana Prince is
No
at
idea.
this point?
Why? How would he know?
How would he know? And why wouldn't they just pull up beside him and, hey, we want to have a conversation with you real quick? And he'd be like, who the fuck are you guys? I don't even know. No,
He's
instead
smart
like,
enough to understand people are there. That's bad news bears.
I love this scene. I love this action
You
scene
love
so
this
much.
scene.
It's the only scene in the movie that actually brings me joy. And I want it to be clear, I am laughing at it, not with it.
Okay,
this
thank
is an
God.
action scene
Okay.
Thank
that is
God.
absolutely horrible. But we talk about camp, we throw all these words out that I almost feel are compliments to a movie that don't deserve them. Like, this to me is camp. This is them actually committing to, like, fuck it. It's going to be ridiculous. She's going to start running. We hear the music start to build up, and then boom, it just fucking hits. And we get a straight on shot of her running, and it looks horrible with the do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Even,
It's like, okay, this
Right
is where
before
we're
that
going.
too, where she jumps out of the car and she's like, whoop, and she's like just in her entire outfit and putting her tiara on. I was like, what?
Wow. And then she's like running between these fucking things. Like, it's just garbage nonsense CG just moving around her. And then a torpedo is launched. And then she fucking uses her whip to grab the torpedo and fly. And I'm just like, you know what? Maybe all this was worth it. Maybe it was worth it just to see how fucking horrible this is.
Because for some reason, also we have to hammer home that she saves kids as well. Because then we have two random kids playing in the middle of the street as this giant caravan's coming toward them, and I'm like,
Why don't you see that? Why don't you see that?
Why don't you see it?
Yeah,
they're
it's
these
right
kids aren't
there.
Stupid.
Also, why are you playing? Why are you playing on the road when you could play 20 feet over where there's just a giant fucking desert? There's just a giant desert.
I'll tell you this because in the 80s, and you guys know this, there's a lot of things we were scared of as kids, right? Lasers, quicksand. One of the things we were terrified, and Greg, tell me if I'm wrong, when you grew up in the 80s, were you not absolutely fucking terrified of not looking both ways when you crossed the street? That was just, they
I think we
hammered
still
that
teach
in.
kids. I think we still teach kids.
No,
I
kids
thought,
don't- kids
Nick,
don't
I
even
thought you were
know
about to
anymore. They don't
go
watch
of being in a desert and running out of water and seeing hallucinations.
No. That was cool because that always led to something cool. That always led to someone saving you, and then you went on the adventure. In the 80s, if you crossed the street without looking, you were going to get fucking creamed into the ground. That was what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's why I think they put that in there.
True to this day, but
I mean, they put it in there because they want to show that Wonder Woman values human life above all, right? Like that she's going to go out of her way to save. It's the same thing of like, why isn't any of this cut when they fight in the White House and Steve goes to fucking shoot them and she's like, Steve, they don't know what they're doing. You can't kill them. He's like, oh, okay. Which I knew they wouldn't because, of course, this isn't that kind of movie. But it would seem like they were building an interesting thing because, I was going to say famously, I don't know how many of you remember this. In DC Comics, Wonder Woman killed Max Lord, which then set off Infinite Crisis, which then kind of rebooted the universe. And it was a big deal because that was very much Batman and Superman don't kill. Wonder Woman doesn't kill. And when Max had the power over Superman to make him do whatever he wanted, Wonder Woman put the lasso of truth around him and was like, how do I get you to stop controlling Superman? And Max said, you have to kill me. And she fucking cracked his neck. And it was like a huge fucking deal to see one of the DC Trinity kill somebody. And that reset the universe. So I was like, man, in a different world, we'd be building to that, but we're not building that because that's not what this movie is. And I remember how much trouble fucking Superman got in for killing Zod. So it's like, whatever.
Off an amazing level of coordination between Chris Pine and Gal Gadot for him to say, look at me in the eyes. This is all nonverbal, right? And he's like, Diana.
Yeah, I know, right?
So he's saying Diana, but what he means is I'm going to shoot this rocket up into the air. I'm going to figure out how to like launch this rocket so that you can then lasso it and it'll take you there quicker. And then the scene of her just rolling around with these kids. What?
I thought like right before he shoots it, he says like,
point,
I've got rockets. But
yeah, I'm right there with
there.
Yeah, Andy, same thing. Yeah, when he goes, Diana, and he shoots the rocket, I was like, I legitimately have no idea what's to happen. And then she fucking flew on it. I was like,
yeah, Steve, what are you doing? Like, first off, but
Steve, there's kids down the road shooting rockets.
The scene, it's all just silly. Just like Tim said, we're laughing at it, not with it. And this scene I saw the day that the movie came out on. So I didn't see it until like a couple days later. But when it came out, and that day, I guess it was Christmas Day, maybe I don't remember when it was. But just seeing this scene broken out on Twitter was a real bad look because so much of the sequence is just silly as shit. And landing with the kids, and it looks bad, and the CGI is terrible. And rolling around with the kids is what I can only compare to the silly doll flying out of the window in Catwoman. Like the idea that you could just roll around with these kids and be totally fine and then not get like a fucking bruise on them. I don't know. It's so stupid. These kids would have been crushed, and all this whole sequence is, I thought, really, really bad.
Yeah, it almost feels like they were like, fuck, it's been an hour and 20 minutes. We don't have an action scene. Let's just shoehorn this bad boy in. And that's what we got.
Yeah, and again, it was like, oh, it's an hour and 20 minutes in. Let's put Wonder Woman in her outfit. But again, the nonsense way they put her into the outfit. Like, I would have preferred it if it was like, I'm going, and she just puts on the bracelets, right? Or she was already wearing them, which you'd like to think is, fuck me.
Or she just shows up as Wonder Woman because she's fucking Wonder Woman. Like, why do they have to drive a car around and like buy some dude's car and like drive? Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, why is any of this happening? You're Wonder Woman. We can do a couple leaps of logic here where she just catches up with the bad guy at a certain point, because this is in fact a superhero movie.
But anyways, everything we just said happens, right? Wonder Woman got shot, by the way. She was bleeding. She's vulnerable. That was a new one for us. We're like, oh, yeah, what's that all about? And so she saves the kids. The bad guys get away. And Steve's like, you're shot. You're hurt. Like, what's going on? She's like, I don't know exactly, blah, blah, blah.
This was also a point of contention for me as well, right? Because the whole point was like, hey, you get the wish, but it takes away the one thing that is most important to you, which I guess in Wonder Woman's world was her power, right? Her ability to like save people and her ability to do all this stuff. But is it it happens immediately, or it's a slow bleed out and you lose your power over the span of 6 fucking months and then you're just a normal human being, right? Because for some people it's immediate. For Barbara Minerva, it's, I guess, kind of immediate, right? She wakes up but I guess maybe not. Maybe after a week.
Was there anyone immediate?
Was
there any evidence in this movie of it being immediate?
Which part? Getting the wish or losing your thing?
Losing something.
Losing something.
I
guess no. Everyone took time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, because the way this stone worked is that like eventually it would get rid of the whole society that they found. Like,
it would be the end of
so United States was fucked.
But then we fucked the whole world. You know what I mean? Because that's how it is. Everybody wants to hate on the U.S. Don't forget. We go down, you're all coming with us. Anyways, so bad guys get away. Wonder Woman's bleeding. Steve and her, get to a little village. They see on TV, world's in chaos. This whole thing with Egypt and the people that are like making moves on the new king and all that jazz. Wonder Woman calls back home to Kristen Wiig and is like, hey, what's going on? She's like, oh, I found the stuff with the microfiche and fucked up this dude, and it's all this bad stuff, but I can't understand some of it, so we need to go talk to somebody. She's like, I know a guy. All right, I'll see you there tomorrow. And so now Wonder Woman's bleeding and alone, and I guess they find their invisible jet they parked somewhere and refuel it and fly that fucker back, and that's how they get back to the United States. And they make this meeting with a new character we meet for 2 seconds who has some kind of knowledge about the stone and like the ancient writings and all the shit they find. It's then into what we're talking about, that it's the monkey paw. Whatever you wish for, you're gonna get it, but it's gonna take something from you, and it's gonna fuck everything up, and the civilization will collapse. And they're like, well, this is bad. We can't do this, clearly. And Barbara slowly backs away, like, what are you talking about? I love being strong and cool and not wearing my glasses and having my hair down. There's no way I could go back to a life of having my hair up and wearing glasses. And they're like, well, no. And Barbara just vanishes, right? Because she's like, I got to get out of this thing. I can't be a part of this thing. Meanwhile, Pedro is back, and he's got 1 million people in his office, and he's losing it, and he's screaming, and his son overhears him say he doesn't give a shit about his son kind of thing. He only gives a shit about wishes. And so it's like, oh, fuck, I need to keep doing this stuff. And so he wishes, like, he has a bunch of different people come through and get all this shit. And he's like, wouldn't it be cool if there's one guy, I got to go, talk to the president if I had a meeting with the president. And the guy's like, yeah, that'd be a cool wish or whatever. I wish that for you. He's like, thanks, buddy. And so he goes out and he gets in the car. And this is the thing we were talking about earlier of like, oh, it's fucked up. The world's in chaos. Everything's going to shit. Everybody's fucking running around, wishing shit. And he's like, no big deal. Like, wish about the Red Sea part and the traffic, yada, yada, yada. They start going back at Wonder Woman's apartment where this whole thing could have happened, and we didn't have to have this weird rapey subplot with Chris Pine and this guy's life he took over. Her and him are trying to come to terms with what's going on. Wonder Woman has this whole.
Sorry, I moved my keyboard and it hit the intro.
I love it. I think we were going to hear it one more time. We knew it. Wonder Woman and him are watching all her closed circuit TVs. This is when Steve sees the armor over there. He's like, what's this all about? And she's like, oh,
in a drape.
Yeah, it's from my people. When we all left the world of man to go to Themyscira to be left behind, or when we went there to go be safe, we left behind one warrior, Asteria, and she was the one to fight. So we melted down my people melted down all of their armor into one super suit of armor for her, so that she could stay here and do it.
Wow.
When I came to the world of man, I went to look for her, but all I could find was the armor.
What a cool.
all about. We'll
what a
see
cool
we'll see what happens at the end of the movie. That's what this is all about, you know.
And to give her a cool costume and action figure.
Yeah, what a cool thing to introduce midway through your movie. That would have been awesome to start the movie with. What an awesome scene I wish I had seen, you know, but we get a little bit of a flashback and a little exposition to Tim's earlier point where it's like, we need this thing right now, so let's come up with a quick backstory for it, and then that's it.
It would have been easy, too. They could have just, whatever that tournament was, been like, that's the Asteria tournament. Look.
To win the armor, right?
Or not even to win the armor. But
Well,
like,
it was. She
they
was
had
there.
a giant statue of her in the middle, and they could have been like, and she wore the armor, which we've lost to time. You know? And it's
So,
like, great.
yeah.
It's set up.
A perfect way to do that would be Robin Wright, not Robin Wright Penn anymore. Robin Wright stops her from throwing the javelin through the thing, right? And then it immediately cuts to a scene where they're walking through the archives, and she goes, "Do you see this armor? We didn't make this armor for her so she could cheat her way through life. Like yada yada
She
yada."
didn't take the easy way out.
She didn't take the easy way out. She sacrificed herself for everyone and by the way, the idea of like making armor that can stop all of the armies of man is a fucking awesome idea.
Yep.
But man, it doesn't play out that well when she finally puts it on and gets shot by 50 caliber weapons and it just destroys it all immediately.
Yeah. Totally. That's the thing, Nick, is like everything you just said, I'm happy they didn't do it. I'm happy they didn't set that shit up and make it extra epic and cool and hype, because then when it actually does come, it's the lamest fucking thing ever and then gets destroyed immediately. And it's just like, I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but who gives a shit at this point?
Do your thing, bro.
She fucking flies up, she comes back, and she's in the gold armor, which is like, where'd you get that? What? Like, we know what is fucking happening right now.
Oh, they put an insert where she went to her apartment to get the armor for some reason.
Exactly, but it's weird where it's just like none of it is interesting, and that should have been the fucking coolest moment of the movie, and God, it's not. And then they have the fight scene, and it's not entertaining at all. It's distracting at how bad and awkward it is, and then her armor seems to not even really help her.
No, it doesn't really help that much because Cheetah can, I guess, just bite through it, and then it's done, and then it's gone.
It was just getting in the way.
This armor was made, guys, to stop a bunch of fucking Spartans. All right, it's a fucking spear. You take 2021, Greg and Kevin. You give us each a garbage can lid and an MK. Right? Was that a gun? I don't even know. An AK. Sure. Give us an AK. We go back in time to fight a bunch of Spartans.
We're killing them.
Kill these guys in 15 minutes.
Here
Here comes this fucking. First off, they're as big as Nick, so I got the height advantage. They're throwing spears in, and I'm just knocking them away.
Probably true.
Knocking them away with this thing.
So let me just get this straight. You have an AK-47 and the lid of what I assume is an 80s aluminum trash can.
Yeah,
right? Is that what we're looking at? Okay. Cool.
I was thinking of an M4 and then an AK, and I just put them together into one super gun, but I'll save that for the sequel.
One super gun.
So anyways, so yeah, they're in the room, they're looking, trying to figure out we gotta find Maxwell Lord, and they see one car driving through all the chaos towards the White House. Like, oh fuck, he's going to the White House. We gotta go. You're weak, Diana. You're hurt. You can't just run in there. I think this might actually happen. No, it has happened. You can't just run in there. So like, we can't just do it as like Wonder Woman would do it. We have to find a different way. And there's a way to get in. She's like, all right, there's this dude, this aide who got introduced like through one line way, like literally an hour and fucking 50 minutes ago in this fucking film. He works at the White House. In the middle of the world ending, he'll give me a tour because he probably wants to have sex with me. And so she goes over there and uses this. And it's true because when Steve walks up, this guy's not feeling it. And so he starts his lame ass tour of the White House, and they all break off to go find Max. Meanwhile, Max is in the office with the president. The president kind of just like, what's the thing in Harry Potter? Not evaporates. Apparates, yeah. Apparates into the room. And he's like, oh, I thought I was in the middle of something else. What's going on, Mr. Lord? He's like, the fucking the world's ending. Like, yeah. He's like, yeah, no money can save us. He's like, I'm not here for money. I'm here to, if you want, push the shit off his desk and grabs him. It's like, if you wanted something, what would you want? He's like, more nuclear weapons than our enemies, more everything else other people, blah, blah, blah. Like, we have to be able to, be the most strong power in the world. And Max is like, perfect. Yeah, I love that. And in, wish granted. And in, return, I want all of your power. I want the power of the office. It actually is a funny turn of phrase that he has, right? Like the respect of the office and the office everyone respects or some shit like that. I was like, that's pretty good.
It's unfortunate because if the president had just been like, I wish that the Russians had less, all of this could have been avoided.
Sure.
I wish they didn't have any nuclear weapons and we just had them all. That could have been the wish. And they would have been like, well, I guess that's it. We're done. Of course, obviously it would have backfired. Yeah, world peace would have been good too.
Yeah.
How about just a direct line
this
to
would stop.
Gorbachev's office so we could just talk. We could just talk all this stuff out.
And so he gives him all that. He's like, great. And what does Pedro Pascal want? And he's like, I want your power, but I want to be treated as a foreign an immunity and no taxes. He's still like talking as a businessman. It's like, what? Dude, like you're not outside, the world is coming unglued. And you're like, so I don't want to pay taxes. It's at least my goddamn concerns right now.
And see, I guess that was my question, right? I think that was the point of me asking, like, what did he have to get rid of? And it was his health, but I was like, why wouldn't they have made it like his logic or his something? Because at a certain point, you're like, you made the wish, and then all of your oil wells are just plumb with oil, and you're a billionaire now. Do you need more wishes? Aren't you done? Can't you just run your company?
And like again, like I've seen in the lead up to this, and I think when we watched like the Fandom, which I know we never left, when you'd see Patty Jenkins and Gal talk about this, they talked about wanting it to be in the 80s because it was excess, right? You always wanted more, and like for me, Nick, I've been on a kick was on a kick with Jen in December of like we watched Wall Street and then Wall Street Money Never Sleeps. And we were watching all these like 80s movies like that, just about smarmy fucking assholes in the 80s. And like, I get the wanton excess. That wasn't like what we're talking earlier. They are in the 80s, but they never drive it home that like, that's what the problem is. Like if you want to talk about Wonder Woman and why Diana is distanced from people, sure, there's the broken heart of Steve, but it should have also been like at the start of the film, I see the greed in these people. Right. Like, you know what I mean? I see these people who we've been through 2 world wars. We're lucky to be where we are, but they nothing is enough for them. And like, that's why I don't have a TV. That's why I don't go to the mall. That's like, there could have been something done there cool, but that would have been too dark, I'm sure. And everybody, DCEU people, we don't want a dark universe anymore, everybody. It's got to be bright. It's got to be colorful. Diana's hope. It's like, all right, well, I think you can't have hope if you don't have despair first.
I think they tried to set up that he was like up against every time he got something, like someone else came and was like, now you got to pay taxes, now you got to do this stuff. I just don't think they nailed that home. So it ends up coming off that he is just this crazy egomaniacal villain who is very one note that just wants more. Yeah. And it's a little disappointing because I think the character started off a little bit deeper than that. I think he started off from a point of like, I never had anything growing up and I want to provide for my kid, but really it's my own insecurity that's driving me through all this stuff. And then it just gets to the point where he's like, I want it all. I wanted everything. You're like, well, you can't, like at a certain point, you're like, why is he insane? Because a normal, rational person, even a person who's like a little off his kilter would be like, well, this is clearly going to destroy the world. But I guess that's the power of the stone. That's the whole point of like the Loki magic or whatever God made this stone.
Before Max leaves the president's office, he sees some plans over there. He's like, what's this all about? And the president's like, oh, this is this new tech we're working on that can take over every TV in the world, no matter how old or how new. It'll allow you to reach out and touch everybody. And Max like, touch everyone? His fucking eyes all fucked up. Because he's like, oh, I can touch people and get a million wishes and do all the wishes I want right at once.
It's like the Riddler, dude.
It's not actually touching though, right? Like that's one of the things that like we just kind of, he has to touch people. Like they have to touch this.
They say touch.
I know, but like they don't mean it literally. But he's like, that counts, right? It counts if they mean it.
Well, don't forget too though, when he gets there and he talks to the dude, he is like, you wish this works for me, right? And he's like, of course, sir. So like that turns on all the equipment that they already had, and it could be interpreted as you hope the fucking machines work. You could also hope my plan works, right? And if you wish that wish, then,
good point. We figured it out.
The magic, isn't it fucking fun? Because then nothing.
It's Harry Potter, Kevin.
No, stop.
It's Harry Potter, man.
Come on, Harry Potter's better than
whatever
this.
you want to
Harry Potter's better than this.
Yeah, exactly.
God, I wish this ring would turn me invisible.
Forget everything.
And so Max starts to leave. Then Wonder Woman is there. She lassos him, and he turns around, and he's like, "Oh, aren't you resourceful?" And he's like, "Finish her, kill her," blah blah. And that's when she starts blocking some stuff, and she does the lasso maybe here and blocks all the bullets. But then she gets hit, and then Chris Pine pushes her out of the way with the Batman '89 serving tray. Bing bing bing. And then he has a gun. He's gonna use it, but don't use it. They don't know what they're doing. He's like, "Fuck, this sucks." They go back out there. That's when she does the thing. Then they all start engaging and fighting. Max tries to leave, but they grab him, or no, he's fighting. At one point, Chris Pine gets the upper hand on a guy with the gun. He's like, fuck, knocks him away. Then, Wonder Woman's fighting other people and pushing people into people. And then at one point, Chris Pine, this guy does this weird, like, move where he, like, I don't even know. He just, like, moves his arms. And Chris Pine's like, oh, that's neat. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is this scene here? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Does this thing, gets out of it. And then 2 seconds later, he grabs Max Lord, and Max tries to do something. He does the same thing to him. He's like, I just learned that. I'm like, what the fuck is this movie? Like, what the fuck is going on right now?
It's fun. It's fun, guys.
He's got Max Lord, and he's like, what do you want to wish? You want to be a real boy? He's like, no. And remind you, no, I wish I wasn't handcuffed to you, but I am. And at which point, if I'm Pedro Pascal, like, well, I'm touching you, your wish is granted. Fuck you. And I take your eyes. He's like, I got no eyes. And there's little hamsters where his eyes would be. Like, let's get nuts with it. Let's use the wish.
Hamsters weren't in the details. What?
I can still see better now, though. Somehow I have 4 eyes now because there's 2 hamsters, one in each
And
eye.
I have a great sense of smell. 4 eyes, 3 noses.
Very cuddly. I'm very cuddly.
Hamsters.
I don't think hamsters have like phenomenally like famous sense of smells.
They have 6 sense. They think the hamster is like Spider-Man. It's just got a 6th sense of smell. I don't
You
know,
don't think
guys.
hamsters have a great sense of smell? They're animals.
they do.
got
They're
better
Well,
sense.
yeah, but
They
not
got
like
better sense.
exceptionally, not notable.
Better than us.
Because
Better than us.
But here, I
They're
said now I
small.
have a great sense of smell.
Right, because
So
they
Kevin, think about
connected.
this. I have 3 fucking noses right now. I'm smelling better than I smell right
I
now.
felt like you Trevor saves the universe like this situation,
Oh,
right?
yeah, Trover. Yeah,
Trover.
totally. You're plugging him in. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Wonder Woman's trying to talk sense into him. He won't have it. She's finding these people. Then Barbara shows up. She kind of kicks the shit out of Wonder Woman, no problem. Because, like, yeah, Wonder Woman's like, what does this cost you? Like, look at where's your nice personality? And you were all these great things. And he's like, what's it cost you? And they have this shot of Wonder Woman. She's all like tired and beat up, and her hair's all a mess. And they're like, oh, okay. And she's like, yeah, see, I know you wish too, dummy dumb. It's like, oh, fuck. And then Barbara leaves, right? She's like, oh yeah, because like Wonder Woman was trying to explain it to her, and she's like, oh yeah, dumb me, I wouldn't understand. Oh, well. And she runs off with Max Lord. They get in the helicopter together, right? Yeah, because he's gonna go to the thing with the TV station. So they get off and they go that way. Wonder Woman and Steve then go out back into the streets of DC, and it's just fucking chaos. There's a whole bunch of people screaming. There's a bunch of people. Like I've never made a movie. I have no talent in that regard, but like I think the sound balance on some of these people need to be turned down because they're giving lines of dialogue that sound like they are major. What do you want me to do about it? I don't know. I'm like, what the fuck is going? Like, I get it. It's chaos. It's whatever.
Everybody had different headphones and they were editing this.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But eventually, Steve pulls her aside and he's like, listen, they'd already had this conversation a little bit and Diana wouldn't entertain it. Now they have to have it. And he's like, listen, I had a great life and you got to let me go. You got to renounce your wish and, set all this back so you can go out there and be the hero they need and deserve and, save the world or whatever. She's like, I don't want to. He's like, you have to. And she's like, I love you. And he's like, I love you. And she's like, I don't want to say goodbye. And he's like, you don't have to. You already have. Like, I'm fucking dead. Like, I'm not alive right now. This is a weird thing we've done.
Let's give this man his life back.
Yeah, and imagine this poor bastard. Like literally, he's like, he went to bed one day, and then he just goes winky winky, and he looks out. He's just fucking he's in a riot in Washington D.C. People are screaming. People are talking about wishes. He's like,
my kids, where are my kids?
My family.
I was supposed to pick my mom up at the nursing home 4 weeks ago.
This scene right here, this scene to me is if I had not watched this movie and had walked into the room of one of you guys watching it, and you paused it right before Steve started talking to Diana. And I was like, oh, hey, real quick, what's happened so far? And you gave me the plot in like a Twitter form. And you're like, what's about to happen is she's going to have to like renounce her wish and he's going to disappear. But then she's going to start gaining her powers back. I'd be like, okay. And if I would have just watched her running down the street as her powers come back.
And her skin starts healing and shit.
It's healing. She jumps up into the fucking sky and lassos the all that shit. I'm like, I would have been like, this is the best fucking movie ever. And then you're like, oh, we're going to pause it. And I walk out of the room and I'm like, I'm going to watch this movie later. And then later I'm like, what happened? You're like, and then she gets to the sky and learns how to fly. And she kind of learned it from Steve, who was a pilot and he loved the skies. And she really taught him and like taught her and gave her this like power. And they're going to play the fucking song from Kick-Ass. And it's going to be really like, okay. I'd be like, there's no way that's just okay. That sounds amazing. That sounds fucking awesome. It's not at all. Jesus Christ. There was 4 seconds of hype in this 5-minute scene and it's her running the one shot of her kind of like kissing him, wiping the tear and just starting to run is so cool. And then the's just more movie after that.
A lot more movie, guys. This review has at least an hour left.
Kristen Wiig still isn't a cheetah.
up in the helicopter, her and him had that conversation. What do you want? She's like, I want to be something the world's never seen before. I want to be an apex predator. Like, that's a weird thing for you to want now, but okay, cool. And he's like, I like what you think, blah blah blah. And
I'd be
so
like, why? You're awesome. You already have her power. Like you have Diana's power. You have everything that you
She wants to be
wanted.
stronger than her. It doesn't
everybody
work.
wants more.
I
It's
wanna-
the 80s
Yeah.
Wall Street. Come on.
I
It's
want to
all-
look like a cat.
I'm pretty sure. He's like, yeah, I
always
like
want
that.
to look like a cat.
Like a strong cat? Like, nah, just
Just a house cat. Just a cat. A sleepy cat.
So yeah, they get there, they take over the station as we've alluded to. I wish all this works. He's like, yeah. And so all the things turn on. They immediately start broadcasting to every TV, everything that has a screen. Wonder Woman, knowing time is limited, went back to her apartment to get the armor from not Atreus. Now you got that in my head.
Asteria.
Asteria. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry.
And then she comes back then flying in the golden armor. Maxwell's already broadcasting. What do you wish for? And the one lady's like, I want to be famous. And everybody freaks out. And then one guy, I want to be a king. And the one mean people were like, I fucking hate you. I wish all the Irish people would get rounded up. I wish you would drop dead. And she drops dead. And then people start getting rounded up in the street. He's like, oh, fuck, this is bad. And so all hell's breaking loose. All the wishes are starting to happen, which really should just end the world right there. But it goes on for a while. And then Wonder Woman, she flies on in there in her golden armor. And then she lands. Yeah. And like people were shooting at her with 50 caliber and all that stuff. She takes them out. And then eventually, Cheetah shows up, Barbara. And she's like, oh, Barbara, what have you done? She's like,
I'm a
like
cat
sniffing.
now.
I'm a cat. I'm a cat. I'm just like a cat.
So I by the way, I'm just like, what a fundamental poor choice. Because I draw back to the one scene that I keep thinking about, the one that I was like, this is actually has some power to it, is when Kristen Wiig kind of embraces the fact that she has this unbelievable power over people now and just kicks that fucking dude down the street. I was like, that's a good scene for me. I think she was kind of ominous in it and really did well. I was looking forward to her just fighting Gal Gadot at the end of this in maybe a cooler costume, but maybe a little bit of flair of it. But no, they went full on.
Let's go super literal.
Dame Judi Dench from Cats. They were like, that's going to be our pinnacle. If we can hit the Dame Judi Dench from Cats, then we're going to fucking knock this out of the park.
I mean, didn't they go to the way of the comic? Like that's how she looks in the comic, right?
Yeah,
but you didn't.
So.
But I think that any
But
production
didn't we
designer
learn-
would have looked at that and been like, "Ooh, this doesn't look good. It doesn't translate to screen. We could have done something different."
Did we learn nothing from not King Shark? Killer Croc. You know what I mean? Like
He looks nothing
what,
like
what
he
do
does
we
in the
want
comic.
this universe to be? What do we want you know what? Guess what, everybody? We have carte blanche. And nothing's worked so far. I'm Patty Jenkins. We have carte blanche here. Nothing's worked so far in the DCEU except for us. People really liked our movie, you know what I mean, despite the third act not making any sense. And that's, we kind of shoved in there. So let's make a colorful, wonderful superhero flick. Let's make it female forward. Let's make it about female empowerment. Let's have, Diana and Barbara stop the one fucking sexual predator in the park in both ways and show the different restraints and powers. Like, and then we get to the center like, oh, should we turn her into an actual cheetah? And it's like, well, you know what? That's a great question we're kicking around right now. I don't think we need to go that far. I think we put her in that cheetah jacket, and then she's really powerful. And
let me sleep on this. Let me.
Yeah, like I don't.
But
know
I
if
will
we
say-
need the last because it's just Barbara's been a real character on the page. Barbara's a great character here. We've seen a lot of growth. Do we need a minute and a half for her as a cat? That's a great question. I'm gonna say no. Like it just doesn't benefit the character.
Not only
I
that,
think
but the
I
whole
think
That's
Killer
too much
Croc looked
logic.
way better than this though.
No,
Like,
100%.
No. Come on,
I
guys.
think
Killer
Pretty
Croc,
poor choice.
when he took it off and it looked like a sad 70-year-old man. Come on, guys.
nah, Killer
That's
Croc
accurate.
looked way
Shirtless.
better, dude. Even though he did look like Mike Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad, his body. Yeah, you're right. His head was
Fair.
the size of his own torso, but still, I think he looked so much better than Kristen Wiig looked as this. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. They fight like we were saying. Barbara won't back down. She won't listen. Eventually, like, please listen. No, I won't listen. So she electrocutes her. Like, oh man, she just killed somebody. And no, she didn't kill her. She's just breathing slowly. She's a tired kitty. You know what I mean? It's one of her 9 lives.
I'm also disappointed because doesn't this mean like at the end of the movie that we're never going to get a cheetah again? Like she doesn't get another wish. I wish they had figured out a way for her to stay bad and bring her back later. I thought that would have been cool.
We don't need
You want
another
more
one
of
these
her.
movies. We didn't.
I'm just disappointed.
We're
I'm like,
getting one. It's announced already.
Yep.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't mind Kristen Wiig as the character. I just don't think they utilized her very well. I think it could have been cool because having a comedic actress of her caliber like that turn evil, I was like, I'm looking forward to that. I'm interested in it. But at the end, she's just going back to, I guess, her life.
She
at the
renounced her
Smithsonian.
wish?
Or does she go to jail? I don't know.
It felt like such a waste.
I mean,
Kristen
like
Wiig in
the
this movie
jails
was
would be
such a waste.
overflowing with people. I feel like at this point, you're the world leaders. You get together at the G20 summit or whatever, and you're like, we make a joint statement. Listen, we'll all admit we got kind of nuts out there.
Things got a little crazy. Things got a lot of hand out there.
We're not 100% sure if you wish people dead, they're back. But if you wish for a gun and shot people, are they back? I don't know. We don't know. We don't want to know. We don't want to know. This is the world we live in. So starting now, going forward, you have a clean record, unless you've done murdery stuff before then. All right.
But not only that, though.
And while we have your attention, there is one really creepy drunk nicotine salesman in DC. If you could help us find him, that'd be great.
We got to get this guy off the streets. Oh, I should find out hard to find because
everything.
He collapsed his lungs by kicking him 50 times.
We're gonna fix all this, but also everyone in the world is gonna. You need to pretend it didn't happen. You just everyone chat, be cool. Pretend that you didn't get granted a wish and then it got taken away. Pretend it's all good because, in Endgame when it happened, in Infinity War, all that happened. We're still, we haven't seen too much MCU, but we're about to see the ramifications of that forever, right?
Sure.
In this, we've seen so many movies past this, and it's like, when Superman comes, people are freaking the fuck out, right?
Yeah.
When Batman's doing all shit, it's a big fucking deal. All of this stuff is a big deal. Everyone was granted a wish to do whatever the fuck they want, and they did the worst things ever. It was a cataclysmic day.
Yeah.
Here's what I want. Can I have comms clear for 1 second? I need I know there are many talented, kind of funny AV editors out there and stuff. I need you to start recording just my screen, and then I want you to go back now and give me the Miller cut of Man of Steel, right? And when Zod starts broadcasting to every TV and they cut around to all the different people reacting, keep all that, but then insert me, all right? Oh, it's just like that thing in 1984.
We'll wait.
I was doing it. That was it. Hold on. No, it's clean cut. Oh, man, this is just like that thing in 1984. And that's it, right? Because, of course, why would everyone freak out? The TV's being taken over. Oh, it's just like when Maxwell Lord did it. Jen, get in. Jen, you remember when this happened?
We're gonna have a wish. We're gonna get a wish.
Do you think
I'm not blown at this time.
Do you think they then cut over to Wayne Manor and Bruce Wayne goes, well, I was gonna kill the Superman guy, but maybe I should also kill this Wonder Woman person because she's somehow responsible for everyone on the fucking planet getting the worst wish possible?
Yeah, that's a good point too. Oh god.
So yeah, she beats Cheetah. She goes inside. Max is broadcasting to everybody and then fucks her up. And then he gets into like the weird like quantum leap. It's shooting all this stuff around him in blue light, and he's touching everybody. And she lassos his leg. We don't know that till later. And then she starts talking to him as if she's talking to him, but she's not talking to him. She's talking to everybody, saying, "Hey, everybody, you need to renounce your wish. I wanted one thing, and it wasn't. It's not worth the cost. You all need to do this and be." She's like, and maybe in a different time, but she's like, for the greater good, you all need to not be selfish. You all need to think of your fellow man and renounce your wish. And me sitting here,
no fucking way,
coming up on a year of quarantine, because motherfuckers out there won't wear their mask and won't stop going to fucking parties and won't stop going to Florida for no fucking reason. I'm saying, like, how unbelievable is this? Because Nick's right. There's going to be one person who's like, "No, I really like these shoes."
No, because I think of this, right? I'm 4 years old in 1984. What would I have wished for? A Luke Skywalker toy. And if you said you got to give that back, I'd be like, "You're going to thank me for this toy." I'm not giving this back. This is I'm
a prisoner on death row, right? I'm in the yard or whatever, and they got the TV pops up and it's like, "Wish," and I'm like, "I wish I was out of jail." I'm out of jail, and then she's like, "Listen, you got to give it." I'm like, "Fuck the world, I don't care."
No, I'm dead either way.
What's crazy?
I wish she would have made an exception for the guy that got his little farm with the little cows. I wish she made an exception for him.
I think it's crazy that they show there was like a couple or whatever that had wished for all the Irish to be locked up, and he was like, "Well, I wish you were dead." It cuts back to him like 3 more times, and he's just kind of like, and it's like, no, they're telling you can unwish her to be dead, but he's just sitting there being like, I don't know, like fuck her.
I love that he unwishes her dead, so she wakes up. No idea what's happening, missed the inspiring speech. And he's like, "Listen, you need to unwish Irish people getting rounded up." And she's like, "No, fuck you, Irish people." He's like, "Oh, no.
Just don't like them."
Just nonsense. What a fucking nonsense. And I saw people like, "Oh, man, people just, they don't want bright movies. They don't want happy endings. I don't want nonsense. I love a happy ending. I love it when the superheroes win and the world gets to go back to being a great place. And again, as, Superman is supposed to, or Wonder Woman is supposed to, they inspire people to be great. This, again, back to Kevin's point, this is tell, not show. This is not us showing why Wonder Woman is such an inspiration and why she was able to make us all go, you know what? Yeah, we shouldn't be selfish. This is her talking to the fucking camera to try to bludgeon you with the point that they couldn't make in the front with their 3 voices in the very beginning of this fucking interview. Nick?
Like, maybe a better way to do it was you save Steve having to go back to the ethos for the 3rd act, right? You've beaten Maxwell, you've beaten Pedro Pascal's character, and the whole world's watching. And Steve goes, "Hey, Diana, you have to let me go." And she goes, "I can't. I love you." Yada yada yada. Everyone's watching. Yada yada. And then he goes, "No, you have to." And she goes, "Fine, I unwish." And then everyone goes, "Oh my god, if she's willing to give up the love of her life, like I'm willing to give up this Luke Skywalker toy that I've always wanted." You know, the one from Return of the Jedi where he's in black, where he's got the black hand and the cool green lightsaber. I never got it. Always wanted it. That may have worked out a little better, but I still think that honestly, the best way to do this was just to convince the bad guy to make a different choice, which that's all they needed to do. And then, because it's just completely, you're right, unbelievable that at that point, how many billions of people were on the planet in 1984, Kevin? At least 2?
5.
You have to imagine, maybe 3, 5 billion. So out of those people, at least 1 billion people were making wishes. There's no way. It's just not believable.
No good. But it happens and it does it. And then, he's like, oh, my son, Eggerbite or whatever his name is.
Eggerbite.
Yeah.
I gotta go back.
Eggerbite.
He transports himself over there and he's running, Eggerbite, where are you?
That's not a name. It was 4.7 billion, Nick.
4.7. Thank you.
Yeah, not bad.
New
And
shirt.
they find him and they're hugging.
Again, a new shirt, right? We're gonna get the Gonzo for Goto show for sure. Yeah, like Eggerbite, or I'm excited for Eggerbite. Like I'm thinking of like a sequel to the first shirt that we eventually put out whenever Robert Pattinson's Batman movie comes out.
Perfect. I love it. They get reunited and it's all happy-go-lucky that they're together. We also got a very late scene of like, why is Maxwell Lord such an asshole? And it's like, here's his entire life and his dad being drunk and his dad being mad that he pissed the bed and nobody coming to his little black gold opening with his little mincy hat out and stuff like that. And everybody at school didn't like him. Like, oh, okay. And so maybe he's not that bad after all. But
No, but like, wasn't black gold even when it was first open a pyramid scheme?
Kind of a Ponzi scheme.
Probably, maybe.
Right?
Who knows?
So like, I mean, he's still a piece of shit.
So he's there. They're reunited. The world has unwished everything. Everybody's back to being happy. So now we're gonna have a little December here. Have a little Christmas time in DC where there's the tree and Diana's there and she gets hit by a snowball thrown by her daughter and Patty Jenkins' son is over there playing with her.
IRL.
IRL. This isn't some weird thing I'm pushing on you. And then even though it would be interesting, right? Because if she actually had conceived with this guy that Steve Trevor was in the body of, that's an interesting story. When you knock back on, that should have been the epilogue. Mm-hmm. She knocks on the door. It's like, 10 months later, she's got this kid, knocks on the door, and he's like, "Hi." And she's like, "Hi, this is weird. I don't even know. You don't even know that. I'm fucking a god, and this is your baby." She's like, "I've never met you, lady." "No, I fucked in your apartment. I fucked you in your apartment for like a week." When my dead boyfriend.
But I was pretending it was someone else. I was imagining someone else's face.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I saw the other guy. We're not 100% sure. All right, it's not a foregone conclusion. We'll have to get a Patty Jenkins ruling on that. Yeah, Nick.
Do you think the first word out of the guy's mouth is like, "Wait, are you guys the ones that ate all my fucking Pop-Tarts?"
And then it's just a freeze frame on them laughing, and it's like directed by Patty Jenkins. Instead, yeah, she talks to him for his
Pop-Tarts.
They talk to the Christmas. She's like, "Wow, she's just so beautiful." Sorry, talking to myself. I know, it's fine. Well, and then there was this thing in the house, this uncomfortable, like, is she about to start dating him? Is that? And like, no, he walks away. Okay, God. And then it's another thing of her just saying over and over, like, the balloon's floating away. She's like, the world's wonderful. It's just so wonderful, beautiful. And it's like, what the fuck? The movie.
What the hell?
The movie fucking ends until we get the badass post-credit scene where, Asteria stops the pole from crushing, and you wonder if it's going to be Gal. It's not. It turns out it's Linda Carter, and she does her best to wink, and it was fucking awesome.
But it's also like
it's syllables in the middle. You'll need 5 for the first and last line. If you're not poetic, no need to fret it. Haikus don't need to rhyme. Haiku in review. Haiku in review.
I enjoyed it because it was quiet, but it still had the swag to it. You know?
It was like the jazz version of it.
The beat fell out.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. You can go to patreon.com/kindoffunny to write your review in haiku form, just like Jakuraba did. 1984. Ragnarok, it wants to be totally a bore. Amen, sister. Amen. And that's it for now. Ragu Bagu, Greg. Let's do it.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Ragu.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Ragu.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Rad Guys Talk Bad Guys, the podcast within the podcast where we rank all the villains of the DCEU.
It's gonna
Currently,
be rough.
the standings look like this. Number 1 is Black Mask and Zaz. That's, of course, from Birds of Prey. Number 2 is Zod from Man of Steel. Number 3 is Doomsday Lex. That's Batman v Superman. Number 14 is Thad. I don't know who Thad was, but Thad
From
for
Shazam.
number 4. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Number 5 is Sir Pat. Sir Pat?
Sure.
I guess that's Wonder Woman's guy, right? I think that's Wonder Woman's guy.
Yes, David Thewlis, or the guy that played Lupin. Is that the bad
Yeah,
guy?
he was the werewolf.
Wonder
The
Woman, yeah.
werewolf. Yeah. Number 6
Oh.
is Ocean Master slash manga. Which I think-
Lupin. Sorry, he was a werewolf.
Mantra. No, what's his
Manta.
Manta?
Manta.
That's
I,
it.
I read it as it's written. Number 4 or 7, I'm sorry, is Steppenwolf
Play it as
from
alive.
Justice League, and number 8 is Enchantress and her baby bro from Suicide Squad. Where do we want to put Maxwell Lord slash Cheetah?
I think that this is such an example of how bad this franchise is that I actually think that they're fairly high for this list.
Yeah.
I'd say mid tier. Greg, can you give me the number 3 again?
Number 3 is Doomsday and Lex from Batman v Superman.
I would
Number
put this
four.
number 2.
You say
What
number
was
4?
number 4? What was number 4?
4. I'm sorry. Number 4 is Thad from Shazam.
Above them. I say that this is the new number 4.
I concur with Tim, and I would say that, yeah, I would put Maxwell Lord slash Cheetah above Thad and below Doomsday and Lex.
I would
I
put
would-
this above Doomsday and Lex just
Me
because
too.
I enjoyed Pedro Pascal's performance quite a bit. And
It's a really
I
good
think I enjoyed his performance almost as much as Ewan McGregor in Birds of Prey. It's just Cheetah brings it down for me, man.
Just because she's an unnecessary aspect of this, just to have like a fight scene at the end. But I agree with Andy, where I thought Pedro Pascal was just nailing
He's
his
great.
character the whole time, and I feel like he was fun to watch. And you almost sympathize with how out of control all of this stuff gets for him. So for me, I would put the number 2 as well.
I would put it.
But I feel like he
4.
plays crazy a little bit better than Jesse Eisenberg, who just went over the top with it.
Who was number
Kevin-
2 already? Who was number 2?
Zod.
Yeah, I would put this above
put it-
Zod.
I wouldn't
yeah,
put it above Zod. I put it right below Zod at 3. Sorry, excuse me.
I'm putting it at number 4.
All right, let's get an official vote. I think it's number 4, but to make sure, who here thinks it's better than Thad from Shazam? Everyone's hand is up. Who thinks they are better than Doomsday and Lex from Batman v Superman? Just Andy and Nick are up. So yeah, so it now goes number 1, Black Mask, Zaz. Number 2, Zod. Number 3, Doomsday Lex. Number 4, Maxwell Lord slash Cheetah.
And now it is time to rank the DCEU. Currently, number 1, Birds of Prey. Number 2, Wonder Woman. Number 3, Shazam. Number 4, Batman v Superman. Number 5, Man of Steel. Number 6, Aquaman. Number 7, we left open because number 8, Justice League, and number 9, Suicide Squad were that bad.
So bad.
And I think this makes a lot of sense that we had that spot open because that's exactly where I
Absolutely.
put Wonder Woman.
I agree. Yeah, below
100%.
Aquaman. Yeah.
Man,
Sure.
I would put this above Aquaman.
I think I
Come
would
on,
too.
guys.
Andy.
Aquaman was fun.
Aquaman was long. I don't know that it was.
This
fun.
was long. This was
dude,
so
come on,
fucking
man.
long.
Yeah, that's a good
I
point.
guess the thing that really bothered me about Aquaman is that it really wanted you to feel like, fuck yeah, this is bad, but I'm enjoying this. Hell yeah. And I never felt that because I was always
this
just
was
so
bad.
I was always just so angry that it wasn't anything that it
was
wanted to be. And I thought Jason Momoa, I wanted him in the way that we cheer on Vin Diesel because he's not great. Like I wanted that to be for Aquaman, and I just never felt that. I never felt anything in Aquaman. I thought it was just pretty bad all the way through. But in this one, I liked Pedro Pascal, and I enjoyed Chris Pine bringing some comedic relief, even though obviously his character is just like a complete buffoon. I still enjoyed those moments, and I still found myself laughing. Where in Aquaman, I was never ever laughing because there was clever writing or funny dialogue. It was always just I hate everything about this right now.
We always talk about tiers of movies, specifically the MCU movies. And usually there, it's a compliment. And I think that we're starting to see some tiers here with the DC movies. And I think that Aquaman and this are just in such a similar tier that it's like, I don't give a fuck. But I do think that this is a much bigger disappointment than Aquaman, and for that reason, I put it low.
I think that Tim nails it. Where that's the thing is like Aquaman. I remember going to see that in theaters and being like, I would never go see this movie if it wasn't part of DC. Like if you know what I mean? Like just what I'd seen for trailers and yada, yada, yada. And sitting through there and being at the end of it being like, all right, that was an action movie, whatever, and leaving. Whereas like Wonder Woman 84, like you look at all the parts here. You look at this cast. You look at even the glimpses of the performances. You're like, oh, this is gonna be so good. And like, not to mention, it's coming off Wonder Woman, which was great. And then you have Patty back to do it, and you're like, oh, this is gonna be, let's go. This is gonna be a lot of fun. And then just completely doesn't do anything.
So let's do the vote. Who thinks it's better than Justice League? Raise your hand. We all raise our hand. Who thinks it's better than Aquaman? Raise your hand.
Yeah, I'll give it a nod.
Andy and Nick do. No one else does, which means that the new number 7 is Wonder Woman 1984. Number 1, Birds of Prey. 2, Wonder Woman. 3, Shazam. 4, Batman v Superman. 5, Man of Steel. 6, Aquaman. 7, Wonder Woman 1984. 8, Justice League. And 9, Suicide Squad. We will return this Thursday with a little bit of a change up in the schedule because during the break, Cobra Kai and Netflix decided to go a week early with season 3. Thank God for that. But we'll be reviewing Cobra Kai seasons 1, 2, and 3 in one episode. We're going to rank each season separately, but we're going to talk about all 3 as a whole. If I'm being honest, the reason we're doing that is I know there's no possible way I can get Nick and Makuga to only talk about certain elements of each season.
It's
So
not.
we're doing it.
It's all.
One big
You have to
thing.
look at it all as one long movie. All the
So
movies and
good.
Hilary Swank
And Hillary Swank. Always
and the
Hillary.
Swank Fest.
The Swank Fest. Jeez.
I don't think we
Anyways,
should call it
guys,
that.
welcome to 2021. Watch the stream if you're watching this. It should be going into it. Anyways, love you. Bye.